statistics offensively for the Big Eight Missouri Tigers and from the Southeastern Conference LSU.
You can see they both move the football. You see Missouri with 414.3 yards per game, and with LSU 375.2. But look at the way they put the ball in the end zone. 24 points per game for LSU and 31.6, and they're really something.
All right, now we've gone to the deep receivers. Missouri has won the toss. They elect to receive. The wind is taken by LSU on the right, the wind to their back. We have Leo Lewis, number 10, to the near side, and on the far side, number 28, Steve Sly, 9-3 in the 100. Kicking off, we have Mike Conway of LSU. The kick is taken by Lewis. Lewis comes out to the 20, the 25, and the Liberty Bowl is underway. Now we look at the offensive backfield for those in the black jerseys. The quarterback is number 15, Phil Bradley of Macomb, Illinois, majoring in education. And now we're looking at number 23, Earl Grant, also education. Wilder, the great one, social studies, number 32. And Lewis, who just returned the opening kickoff, well, he's a fit as major. And Downer was number 80, Lamont Downer, who is the split end. So with the ball spotted just shy of the 25-yard line, Bradley for Missouri with a 1st and 10. That was James Wilder, the great sophomore, a native of Missouri. As we go up front now and look at the offensive line, we mentioned Downer. Here's a man, Gunder, right next to him, majoring in agriculture. Mark Jones in education. Pete Allard, education. He is the center, and the right guard is Steve Lechner. 72 is Howard Richards, an engineer major. And Kellen Winslow, you'll hear us call his number 83 quite often. So, with the ball at the 27, it is a 2nd down and 8. Wilder again, number 32. Benji Thibodeau of Rheims, Louisiana, number 77 in the white jerseys, made the stop. And the referee, Robert Carpenter, a mechanical engineer from Belmont, North Carolina, spots it out at the 28-yard line where it will be a 3rd down and 5. As you see, the defensive men for LSU, White, Thibodeau, Atia, and they're backed up by Cupid and Minaldi, and Britt Williams, Quinn, and Teal. On a 3rd down and 5, sophomore Bradley of Missouri gets the 1st down for Missouri. An opportunistic quarterback from Macomb, Illinois, 6-footer, number 15, 170 pounds, gains the initial 1st down of the afternoon.
This is one of the things about having a scrambling quarterback. Youngster goes back, finds nobody open. Bradley's looking, goes to throw, and when a scrambling quarterback is just like another runner in the backfield, he maintains possession by picking up a 1st down, and they have 4 more opportunities.
All right, Missouri now with that 1st and 10 at the 37. The first pass thrown by Bradley is caught by Lamont Downer of University City, Missouri, tackled by Marcus Quinn.
Now, Lamont Downer is really something. This is his 24th reception. You see, Bradley just rolls out. He gets outside the contain, and he hits Downer right in the numbers. And here's another view. Here he comes right down the field. He reads the zone coverage, turns in what we call a little curl, gets right in the seam, and Bradley puts it right there.
And Arrow, that was an 18-yard gain, another 1st down for Missouri. They're on the move. This is the first series of downs in the Liberty Bowl. Missouri in black, favored by a touchdown. Now a great test of the pursuit of the LSU defense. Phil Bradley weaving around, getting deeper into LSU territory. At about the 39, that's a neat gain of 6. That's a 2nd down and 4.
It's interesting, the offense that Missouri uses. They line up in the veer from the standpoint of formation, but they do not run much option football. It'll be a power-off tackle, a straight dive play, and, of course, roll-out passes with Bradley.
Now we have a 2nd down and 4. It appears to be shy. The 1st down is Wilder, number 32 in black, carried. The tackle was made by Cupid, number 34, as we look at the LSU bench on the far side, coached by Charles McClendon, Charlie Mack, in his 17th year, so that brings up a 3rd down and less than a yard. And the ball now is right near the 35 of LSU. No score. Tenacious LSU defense quickly on Wilder. But let's see where his forward progress is marked. Head linesman on the far side of the field, and I don't believe it's enough. LSU fans are cheering, some 8,000 of them, over 10,000 here from Missouri. There you see it, 4th down, and
they're trying an outside veer, and of course it stopped short of the first down with about 3 or 4 of the top players, which include Marcus Quinn, number 40, who is a strong safety, moved up into the line. And let's see what they're going to do, whether they're going to go for it.
There's the first-year head coach, Warren Powers. Just yesterday named the Walter Camp Coach of the Year recipient. Released in New Haven, Connecticut. Warren Powers, number 10, coming into the lineup for LSU, and that is the flanker, Leo Lewis. He's coming out here to the right side as they go for it on 4th down. This is the Liberty Bowl. 11:21 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Allard snaps the ball to Bradley. It appears that Wilder
just barely made it, Chris.
Make it Ellis. Ellis carried on that play, number 43, and it's still close.
Well, he made it all right, but LSU committed themselves to a goal line defense, had him stopped, but Ellis squirmed free and made the first down.
There we look at Charlie McClendon, the head coach of LSU. What a career he has had. He's the incoming president of the American Football Coaches Association.
Nice man.
With the ball at the 34, some early movement. Both sides. Let's see the player that caused it, perhaps Winslow, number 83, the tight end on the near side of the field. Here's the referee. All right.
Okay, we'll see. I know Winslow made a mistake there, but you're going to see him this afternoon. He's a great tight end. I've seen him before during the course of the year. And he's grabbed off 29 receptions during the year, 6 touchdowns for almost 500 yards.
Winslow, a senior from East St. Louis, with the ball now at the 39. It's going to be a first down and 15. No score. Missouri with the ball. LSU in white. The Liberty Bowl is underway. Wilder, number 32, carrying to the 35. So it'll be 2nd and 11.
Bradley has had a sensational year. Of course, you can see the stats right here of between Woodley and Bradley. Woodley with LSU, and Bradley has passed for 1,780 yards at a 60.2% clip. He's had a great year.
Ellis and Wilder are both, now they are the setbacks on a 2nd and 11. Bradley. Acrobatics, a forward half gainer for Bradley, who is met by Chris Williams of Tioga, Louisiana, number 22, as we replay it once more.
Once again, Bradley rolls out to his right, does not find open receivers, and this is why it's so difficult to defend against a team that has a scrambling quarterback. And I want to point that out again. He really gets hit here, goes all the way over, but he's got good agility. He's just a sophomore, and I just detest trying to defensive guy like that.
And now over the ball for Missouri. Allard, the center. 3rd down and 1 from the LSU 25. Wilder, 32, gets the first down and more. Willie Teal finally stopped number 32 Wilder, the sophomore from Sikeston, Missouri, 6'2", 220, and making a good block, Gunder, number 76, for the men up front. Wilder now 6 carries, 20 yards.
He just goes in there, it's a straight handoff play, and he reads it, and he'll run that dive play all the way from over the center, all the way out over the tight end, depending on what the defense does. They work on it, and they really execute it. It's been a very successful play for him.
9.5 to go, first quarter, no score. From the 16 on a first down, Wilder again carried. Thibodeau, number 77, and Marcus Quinn, number 40, in on the stop.
It's amazing the success that they have. They have a very simple attack in the sense that they don't try to do anything fancy. They run that handoff, the power off tackle. Very little options, but Bradley adds a dimension to this attack with his scrambling and rollout passes that makes it very difficult to defend him.
Downer left, Blair right. 2nd and 7 from the LSU 13, Missouri. Touchdown, Earl Gant. Number 23, a 13-yard scamper. He's from Peoria, Illinois, a senior, 6'2", 207 pounds.
It's what we call a trap option. You see Bradley fakes, comes down the line, one of the few options that they run, and they run it very successfully here. Bradley deals it off, catches LSU in a defensive position, unable to pick up the man that has dealt the ball, and you see that he just gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
Eating up almost 7 minutes on the clock on that drive that went 75 yards, and on the 13th play, Missouri leads LSU 6-0. Jeff Brockhouse trying for the point after. His conversion try is good. So now, with 8 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the first quarter in the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee, Missouri leads 7-0.
Hey, Mr. Goodwrench, it's only hitting on 7. Better give me a complete tune-up.
Better let me check it out first. You don't want to pay for anything you don't need.
When you want your GM car fixed, see Mr. Goodwrench at your participating GM dealers. He cares.
All it needed was this little fuel filter element. A lot cheaper than a tune-up.
All right.
Keep that great GM feeling.
With Mr. Goodwrench.
My man.
And genuine GM parts.
A poem about deodorants. Roll, roll the roll-on, all sticky and wet. Or spray your underarm. What a fog you'll get. So give me the stick, Old Spice deodorant stick. It goes right to the spot. All wet or foggy it's not. It guards against odor the whole day long. With Old Spice freshness, you cannot go wrong. So goodbye roll-on, so long spray. Old Spice stick, it's the only way.
Deodorant or antiperspirant.
The Gator Bowl. Woody Hayes, Ohio State Buckeyes battle 7th-ranked Clemson. Friday night live, 9 o'clock Eastern on ABC.
You're looking at the unique shape of the Liberty Bowl Stadium in Memphis. Missouri has just scored 6-17, eating it up on the clock. 13 plays, 75 yards. Gant for Missouri, going 13 yards, 6-0. Number 47. We're looking at Hokie Gaijon, who's an interesting young man, Era.
I had a nice opportunity to talk to him yesterday, and I'll tell you, he can really run and stomp you. He's a hard runner.
Brockhouse, who added the point after for Missouri, kicks to Hokie. Hokie at the 10, 15 for LSU, the 20. Cutting outside to the 25, falling forward to about the 27. Let's look at the offensive backfield. You're looking at David Woodley, one of the two quarterbacks, and there's the man, number 4, Alexander. Hokie, who just carried the ball. Number 47, Mike Quintella. And Carlos Carson, an unbelievable split end who caught 5 passes once for 5 touchdowns. Now, Woodley and Ensminger are both in the lineup. 2 quarterbacks. Woodley set out as a flanker, went in motion, and Ensminger tried to hit Carlos Carson of West Palm Beach, Florida, number 3, coming back to the LSU huddle. We'll probably see some dipsy-doodles today as we look at Chris Rich, the left tackle. Alongside is Johnson from Athens, Texas. The center is Jay Whitney from Baton Rouge. Louis Delaunay from Missouri. Dugas, the honor student, Cliff Lane of Monroe, Louisiana, the tight end. So it's a 2nd down and 10 for LSU. They trail 0-7. And David Woodley, the junior quarterback, in the backfield as a running back or flanker. Carried it out, and let's see if he gained any yardage on the play. He may have gotten 1 yard. The defensive line, Era, Peterson, Hamilton, Smith, Suda, and Ray.
They've done a great job during the course of the year, and of course that Chris Garlick that we talked about, number 68, he's going to be involved all afternoon. He's a super football player.
Now we have just 1 quarterback in the LSU lineup. Ensminger, number 5, is out. David Woodley of Shreveport, number 8, barking those signals. 2nd and 9. Make it 3rd down and 9, excuse me. As we have 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first quarter, we have a timeout with Missouri leading LSU by a score of 7-0. We'll be right back.
I like pickles, but they don't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
I like pizza, but it doesn't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
Digel's special combination of antacid and anti-gas ingredients gives you fast, gentle relief from acid indigestion, heartburn, and gas in just minutes.
I like hot dogs.
but they don't like me.
Send your stomach some Digel.
Introduce yourself to a remarkable nasal spray that lasts and lasts up to 12 continuous hours. Duration nasal spray relieves up to 12 continuous hours. Duration relieves nasal stuffiness and sinus congestion, so just one use lets you work all day. Just one use lets you sleep all night. Duration relieves 12 continuous hours, and that's Duration, with the longest-lasting nasal decongestant.
Sunday, Marlo Thomas meets an angel who grants her greatest wish. It happened one Christmas.
At the Liberty Bowl, you can see by yards gained that Alexander of LSU and Wilder of Missouri are fine running backs.
No question about it. Of course, Wilder has not had the number of opportunities that Alexander has, but Wilder did not start until after the 4th game of the season and got, as you notice there, almost 900 yards, 873, and 11 touchdowns. He also caught a touchdown pass. But Alexander has had a sensational career, as I said at the top of the show, and he's outstanding. Let's see what happens with him here.
To the far side of the field, Wallace in the lineup, number 6. Woodley is a quarterback. Number 1 is Quintella in motion. 3rd and 9. Driving for the LSU first down was junior David Woodley, a pre-law student from Shreveport, and stopped by Kurt Peterson, number 88, a defensive left end for Missouri. Missouri in the lead, 7-0, 7:41 to go in the first quarter. Woodley's stats, 5 touchdowns rushing this year, totaling nearly 400 yards on the ground.
Well, it's another running quarterback again. You just saw again, he rolled out to throw the ball. No one was open, and he picked up the first down because he got outside the contain.
Now in the power I, we have Carlos Carson to the near side of the field with Quintella, number 1, in motion.
There he is. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, believe me, Charles Alexander had some injuries during his senior year, and had he not, I think he'd have finished higher in the Heisman Trophy balloting.
Look at the blocking he gets. He uses it well. He complements his line like he should. He weaves back to the inside, and, you know, a guy that can run 4.35 in the 40 is really flying. But there's a demonstration of why he's such a great back.
That looks so easy, going 23 yards. Charles Alexander of LSU for the first time. They're in Missouri territory at the Missouri 39. Alexander from Galveston, Texas, number 4, battled hard to about the 35, where Berg, 36, and Ray, 90, come in defensively for Missouri. Missouri in the lead, 7-0, 6:48 to go first quarter.
You get personnel like Alexander and Wilder, of course, and it's pretty tough to keep a team out of the end zone. And LSU is moving the ball very effectively at this point.
Quintella in motion. Wallace to the right, Carson to the left. 2nd and 6 from the 35 of Missouri. 47, Hokie Gaijon of Baton Rouge. Berg making the stop. Charlie McClendon and his staff on the far side of the field looking into the sun here at the Liberty Bowl.
Mixing up their offensive plays very well. They're trapping, they're running the off-tackle play with Alexander, and, of course, the run action passes, and it's taking them pretty well down the field. They got big down here, 3rd and about 3.
And Orlando McDaniel is in on 3rd and 4. Quintella, first down for LSU at the 16 of Missouri. Bill Whitaker stopping number 1 Quintella from Port Arthur, Texas.
The reason this play is successful is because Woodley has more than ample time to pick out his receiver. Look, he's got plenty of time. He sees him. Now he delivers right on the mark. Quintella catches the ball there. That's his 31st reception for the year. And they have a first down.
Now Quintella's in the slot to the far side with Wallace outside him from the 16 of Missouri. First down. Oh, the blitz was on.
Guess who? He timed this cadence just right. Watch Garlick, number 68 here. He times the cadence perfectly. The ball is snapped, and he splits. He gets to Woodley. The right guard pulls Delaunay, and, of course, he knocks Woodley down for a loss.
All right, and that brings the ball back outside the Missouri 20, where it'll be 2nd down and 14 for LSU in the white jerseys. Missouri leads 7-0. We're coming up to the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. Quintella, number 1 in the slot. Carson is outside, 2nd and 14. Woodley. Oh, number number 9. The woes here just before Christmas. Johnny Poe of East St. Louis.
He was wide open on this play. Woodley threw a poor ball here. You see, Quintella's open. Ball is thrown way behind him here. I don't know whether he anticipated or thought Quintella was going to go out and up on him. But Poe should have intercepted that ball. We got a little action there.
So it's 3rd down and 14 now. Pass intended for Hokie Gaijon of Baton Rouge. So now, let's see what number 3. He's going to the far side of the field, or the right top of your screen. And it's going to be a 3rd and 14. Wallace, number 6, is out of view at the bottom of your screen. Woodley.
Comes a blitz.
They flood the zone, and Quintella had his hands on it, but what a double hit by the Missouri defense. Eric Wright was one of them.
They put a blitz on, went to man-to-man coverage. Quintella comes right up the field. He is open, but the ball is thrown just a little bit late. It's right there, but great defensive work by Poe, timing it just right, along with Eric Wright, to knock that ball loose from him.
All right, for LSU, Mike Conway is in the lineup. The spot will be the 27 plus the 10 of the end zone with the wind to their back. A 37-yard field goal try. Woodley holding. Mike Conway's kick. It's up. It's good.
That is now 15 out of 16 for Conway.
Mike Conway, a senior from Texarkana, Arkansas, makes it 7-3, Missouri in the lead.
The more foreign car prices go up, the more it pays to put your money in a Chevy Chevette. It's like money in the bank. Here's what makes it such a value. This Chevette 4-door hatchback has standard white striped tires, body side moldings, AM radio, sports steering wheel, console, reclining front bucket seats, and more. Yet Chevette is hundreds of dollars less than Toyota, Datsun, or VW Rabbit. Chevy Chevette. It's like money in the bank.
I like to cast a party the way I cast a play with very special people, and the champagne must be equally special. Paul Masson, a premium California champagne of impeccable taste. Paul Masson wines taste so good because they're made with such care. Old Paul Masson himself said it nearly a century ago. We will sell no wine before it's time.
ABC's Wide World of Sports. Men's Downhill World Cup skiing from Val Gardena, Italy, next Saturday.
Well, we had a full pyramid on the part of Missouri. But that's not a bad view as we go back to the receivers now. Number 10, Lewis. 28 is Steve Sly. Following a 37-yard field goal by this man, Conway. It is 7-3, Missouri leading, now receiving, LSU kicking in the Liberty Bowl. 4:41 remaining in the first quarter. Sly looks at it. Sly to the 15. The 9-3 sprinter is tripped up, and fortunately for LSU, he was upended at about the 23-yard line. So Missouri now in their first possession went 75 yards and on the 13th play scored. They have the second opportunity now to move it here in the Liberty Bowl. And speaking of bowls, number 1, Penn State against number 2, Alabama. 2 p.m. Eastern Time, live from the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Right here on ABC. All right, Missouri with the ball. Their quarterback is sophomore Bradley, number 15, and there's their top runner, Wilder.
Well, I'll tell you, he's really strong.
He has many of the football skills, I think, of a man that wore number 32 for Syracuse in Cleveland, Jimmy Brown.
Yeah, right. You know, one of the things about the original touchdown drive by Missouri was that they did buck about a 15 to 20 mile an hour wind. They took the ball right down the field, and they managed to hold LSU on their first possession downwind to the three-pointer for the field goal.
So that gain was out to the 38-yard line, where it's a 1st and 10 for Missouri in the black jerseys. And a completion to Downer, number 80. The forward progress across the Missouri 45.
Mount Downer is one of the great receivers Missouri's had. Here he is flanked out. He just comes down the field. They read the coverage very well. He sees its zone. He's wide open in the seams between the linebackers and the deep secondary. And He's finally brought down by Willie Teal.
Versatility of Missouri. Back-to-back first downs. One rushing, the other passing from their own 48 first down. Wilder has tremendous balance. Using that loose arm, not holding the football to keep his balance. Minaldi, Lake Charles, made the stop. Let's pause 5 seconds here at the Liberty Bowl to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
This is Channel 8, WVUE, New Orleans.
Number 32, Wilder, has carried 9 times, 41 yards.
You see, Wilder should be brought down here by Blast, defensive end number 95, but he avoids it. He steps on the line right there, but you saw he avoid the principal tackler.
And on a 2nd and 7, Gant, who scored the Missouri touchdown, eats up yardage on the natural turf here at the Liberty Bowl. Willie Teal finally stops Gant, G-A-N-T, of Peoria, Illinois, at the 25. First down, Missouri.
Boy, I'll tell you, you can see why Missouri has been an explosive football team. They run the simple handoff, and they block everybody on the play, and you can just terrific yardage that they get. Of course, they played a tough schedule when you play the likes of Notre Dame, you play Oklahoma, Nebraska, Alabama, and on and on.
On the 25, first down. Gary Ellis, number 43 of Columbia, Missouri, inside the 15 of LSU. Willie Teal stopping number 43.
You can see the LSU defense led to the SEC in total defense, allowed 283.8, and Charlie McClendon has always been a great defensive coach. But you can see here Missouri's got backs at 6'2", 220, and they can move, and they're being hard-pressed in this first quarter.
All right, with that 1st and 10 from about the 14. Bradley, the resourceful sophomore, intended for Downer to catch it. Number 77, defensively.
Hey, that Bradley.
Benji Thibodeau was right on Bradley when he threw it.
Yes, that Bradley's going to have a great career at Missouri. He rolled out to his left that time, didn't find anyone open, scrambled back out, got the ball off. And this is why they're so difficult to defend. There's no soft spot in this Missouri offense.
We got a closer look at Thibodeau, who put the rush on Bradley now. Bradley with a 2nd and 10 for Missouri at 7-3. Missouri leading. Wilder carrying. His teammate in the backfield, Gant, has carried only twice for 37 yards, including a 13-yard touchdown. If you just joined us in the Liberty Bowl, Missouri took the opening kickoff, went 75 yards in 13 plays. Gant scored. They led 7-0, and then LSU's first possession. They started at their own 27. They were successful on a 37-yard field goal by Conway, so it's 7-3. And now we have a 3rd down and 9. At about the 13. The best defense against a pass shown by John Adams, number 86, and Thibodeau, number 77, as we check the defense from the end zone camera.
Well, the strength of the LSU defense is in the ends. Both Lyman White and also number 86, John Adams, who is an outstanding football player. He can really move.
So we're going to have a field goal attempt by Jeff Brockhouse of Missouri. He's from Brentwood, Missouri, a major in arts and sciences. He's had 5 of 10 field goals. His longest field goal in his career was 48. This one is 39 yards into the wind. 39-yard kick is up. It's long enough. No good. To the far side of the upright. So with 1 minute and 41 seconds remaining in the first quarter, our score remains 7-3 in the first ever meeting between Big 8's Missouri and the Southeastern Conference representative LSU. Well, we have good weather here, about 55 degrees, and it almost seems warm enough era for a golfer like you to play. For those of you that can't play right now, watch the championships of the United States Golf Association highlight show tomorrow right here on ABC. We check your local listings for time in your area. We think you'll enjoy it. All right, now from the 23, Charles Alexander carried on the play number 4. And Era, since they kicked it outside the 20 and missed, the spot was the 23. And the rules makers, I believe, have to go back and check that one out because it hasn't been as successful as they had hoped it to be.
Well, it has reduced, obviously, the number of field goal opportunities. Coaches are reluctant to turn that ball over in their 30 or 35-yard line, and, of course, has eliminated those great long kickers.
All right, now 2nd down and 8 from the 25 for LSU. That is Woodley. Swarmed over by Kurt Peterson. Back-to-back tackles. He is from St. Louis, a junior, 6'4", 225. An end zone replay.
Well, he's the number 3 tackler. They're trying the option. They faked the Gajan, but right there is Kurt Peterson, and that's his 10th sack, if you want to call it that, because he did create negative yardage.
So now we have a 3rd down and 10 for LSU and White. They trail 3-7 with 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Woodley. Well, there was a tipped ball, and what a rush put on by number 36, Eric Berg. And Woodley, the junior. Ron Suda also on the rush for the Missouri defense, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 10. And this is our first punt of the ball game. Going back deep, we have for Missouri Bill Whitaker, number 30, and Leo Lewis, number 10. John Adams, the lineman, will punt. The wind to his back. He nearly caught it. Not the way he wanted to. Whitaker at his own 32. 40. And Whitaker comes back into LSU territory at the Bayou Bengals 48, where Jerry Murphy of Birmingham, Alabama, number 29, made the stop.
Boy, that one almost went all the way. From the vantage point that we have here, it looked like he might crack and go all the way, but the wall was there. Good piece of running was saved, and they have the ball at the 47 and a half.
Okay, LSU. Missouri with the ball now. Good field position. Maybe time for one play before the end of the first quarter. Gant. And Gant makes headways. Moving into a southerly direction, he comes to the 43. And when play is resumed and the first snap of the second quarter, it will be a 2nd and 5 for Missouri as they lead LSU 7-3.
Hey, how'd you like some free gasoline when you fill up?
I'd like it a lot.
Change to new Quaker State Sterling motor oil.
You're telling me an oil change
will get you better gas mileage. See, Quaker State Sterling is a whole new kind of oil, specially blended to lubricate.
It by in virtually every category. 9 first downs to 3. The total yardage of 138 to 51. But look at that possession time. Almost 11 minutes to 4. It's amazing that LSU has kept them out of the end zone, just allowing 1 touchdown.
And now sophomore Bradley, number 15 of Macomb, Illinois, has the 2nd and 5. The first snap of the second quarter, Missouri in black leading 7-3. And LSU's defense keying on Wilder, number 32. Atia of Allentown, Pennsylvania, sophomore, number 60, was there defensively at the 45, and that's a loss of 2, so it's going to be 3rd down and 7.
George Atia veered to the play side. I don't know whether he guessed right. He had a predetermined game on or a stunt. And he veered to the left and got in behind the right guard's block and made the play. It's tough to stop those ball carriers. Bradley has thrown 3 times, completing 2 for 28 yards. Now he has a 3rd and 7 from the 45. And the LSU defense now grouping its forces. Thibodeau again, number 77 plus 49, Jerry Hill, and 97 that you saw on the screen was Kent Broha of New Orleans, Louisiana. So it's a 4th down coming up. 4th down and 7. That was absolutely a perfect piece of defensive work on the part of LSU. They had a man, they were trying the trap option again, the play that Missouri scored a touchdown on, and everyone was in the right spot. There was a man on the trap man, there was a man on the quarterback, and a man on the pitch man, and the lead blocker was contained. Watch Chris Williams, he's deep, a good one. Jeff Brockhouse punting for the first time today, tried a 39-yard field goal and failed, and here is the kick, a big rush put on
A marker is down, and will we have a roughing the kicker penalty?
Yeah.
Let's see what happened.
You could see they were coming. They brought 10 men, Chris. And right at the last minute, he tried to avoid it. Looked like he was going to block it here. He had to jump to get the ball. Brockhouse comes in and almost, look at that. It's 51. And now they knock him down. Of course, he knows and he feels, uh-oh, I'm going to give him 4 more cracks. Oh, that's a tough penalty. Always a tough penalty.
In the white cap, that's Robert Carpenter, the referee from Belmont, North Carolina. The umpire today is Bradley Faircloth of Greensboro. A.B. Elliott is a linesman. There's the roughing the kicker penalty. The line judge is from Ellicott City, Maryland. Bill Metton, Gerald Austin, the field judge, and the back judge is Robert Sandel of Charlottesville, Virginia. Oh, by the way, Miss America is here, a Virginia native. You'll see her at halftime. You'll hear Marguerite Piazza. You'll meet the 3 balloonists who successfully crossed the Atlantic. Right now with a 1st and 10, Missouri, James Wilder.
This is more option football that I've seen out of Missouri. We did the Colorado game. I've looked at film in other contests, and this is more option football than I've seen Missouri run. Maybe it's they see something in the LSU defense, but this is not characteristic of their previous games, but they're running it successfully.
Yeah, I mentioned the 32 Wilder. Missouri runs like Jimmy Brown, number 32, another 32, Franco Harris. He has a little of their qualities. There's Wilder, number 32, knifing his way, a persistent type runner. Jerry Hill in there to stop him.
You know, Chris, we just preached against penalties with our team. Don't make any penalties. Don't make any mistakes. Don't rough the kicker. Don't jump offside. Don't clip. And you can see the effect of that penalty. LSU had held, was forcing a punt. Now you see the possession and a 1st down, and they're moving the ball.
Right. After the penalty, they gained 8 yards. It was a 2nd and 2. Now 1st and 10 from the 17. Bradley, Wilder, who had 20 receptions and 1 touchdown coming into the game, is the key player for the Missouri offense, and he's proven it thus far, although Gant scored the only Missouri touchdown.
You see, Bradley just comes back into the pocket, and he has so much time. Everybody's covered. It's interesting they have yet to hit Winslow, but look at him. He's just looking around. He finally finds Wilder. One of the guys that you'll see Bradley hitting down in this area. Watch the tight end, Kellen Winslow.
We have 12 minutes remaining in the 1st half. Missouri leading 7-3. They have the ball. 2nd and 6 at the LSU 13. And in on Earl Gant, number 23. The defensive charge was led by Kent Broha. Adams was there, number 86.
You know whether he audibleized here or not, no one blocked Broha, and he just came scot-clean on the dive play. Apparently the blocking was fouled up. But it was a good piece of defensive work by LSU.
The Missouri snapper, the center Allard, was shaken up, and in his place is Jeff Stokowski, number 58 of Peoria, Illinois, and a 3rd and 9. Bradley.
There he is. Guess who?
Kellen Winslow, 6'6", 235, tight end, weaves his way for the 2nd Missouri touchdown, 13-3.
They're not going to harness that guy all afternoon, I'll tell you. Bradley just rolls out to the right. Winslow works to the inside. It's almost deflected, and he can run with the ball. Look at that. He can really run the football. There he is, isolated. He releases to the outside. He's bumped. Weaves back to the inside as Bradley rolls. And you can see he can run with that ball after he gets it.
Jeff Brockhouse, number 3, will try the point after with Jay Jeffrey. Holding, it's 13-3. 11-13 to go in the 2nd quarter, and the point after attempt. Good. So, from the LSU 48, they move on in to take a 14-3 lead. We're at the Liberty Bowl, the 1st of 3 on ABC.
Oh, no, he's home.
A kiss goodbye?
You must go, and besides, your beard, it's rough.
Then I'll shave.
There's no time.
I'll use this Rise with 3 softness. Rise will start to soak and soften my whiskers in no time. See? Rise helps me get a close shave, quick.
You're smooth, Eddie, and so quick.
Do.
Fine. How about a close shave?
Rise for a quick, close shave. This season, these fully race-prepped Chevy Camaros will be driven by 12 of the best drivers in the world in the International Race of Champions. Introducing the 1979 version of the ultimate Camaro. The Camaro Z28, from people who know what performance is all about. Chevrolet.
The Gator Bowl. Woody Hayes, Ohio State Buckeyes battle 7th-ranked Clemson. Friday night live, 9 o'clock Eastern on ABC.
Oh, I love this sign, Ara. Look at it. Chris Ara, thanks for the day off, Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill being undoubtedly Uncle Bill Fleming. Who has a tape presentation at halftime, however. The Chevrolet Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. That'll be at halftime, as well as both bands and the Salute to Freedom Spectacular. All right, 14-3, Missouri kicking off to LSU, and Hokie Gajan decides to make it a touchback, and the ball will be brought out to the LSU 20, and now they must really move ahead because Missouri has dominated, controlled the game. Missouri with 12 first downs. LSU with 3, Ara.
Well, you can see the dominance in the statistics, but in addition to that, LSU is going to have to fight the wind, which appears to have picked up a little bit. I think it was 10-15 when we started, but it looks to me like it's probably closer to 15 or 20 now.
All right, LSU now. Boy, those are loud cheerleaders. They're supposed to be. This is Woodley looking, and he finds Quintella. Quintella with a first down out of bounds at the 45, a 25-yard gain. LSU.
You see, Woodley fakes to the right, the tailback action, and Quintella comes underneath. As a matter of fact, that same pass, that same action, was the same pass that Colorado was successful in coming back and beating this Missouri team 28-27. And Quintella just releases and crosses the field.
From across their own 45, Quintella comes to the near side. First down, Woodley the quarterback for the Bengals. Alexander. That's what you call keying on a player and a star player, as Peterson was there.
Looked like he ran into the whole world over there. He didn't have a chance on that play. There was great defensive moves by everyone. Let's see what we can see here. We'll take another look at it. You see, Alexander just doesn't have any chance there. He can be the greatest back in the world, but Alexander's right. You got to have that offensive line bumping somebody around for you.
Number 98 in black was Norman Goodman of Metropolis, Illinois, a junior. Loss of 4, second and 14. Orlando McDaniel was the intended receiver. Close coverage by Eric Wright, number 21 of Missouri. As we look at Charlie McClendon, native of Arkansas, played football for Bear Bryant at Kentucky.
Sure did, and winner of over 70% of his games. Has been there many years, taking the team to many bowls. He's an outstanding football coach. Of course, Bear was with us yesterday at the luncheon along with Charlie and had a little fun with him.
Liberty Bowl luncheon, one of the many social events that take place during this week of the Liberty Bowl, and the people from Memphis stood as well as anyone, perhaps maybe even better. Alexander was the intended receiver on a 3rd and 14 from the 42, so into the wind. We will have a punt by the LSU Tigers with 10-12 remaining in the first half. It is 14-3 Missouri. John Adams, the big punter, will kick to either 30 Whitaker or number 10 Lewis. Adams kicked one earlier, 42 yards.
Let's see what the wind does to this one. It'll have a definite effect, I believe.
4th down and 14. Snapping the ball is John Ed Brantley of Opelousas, Louisiana. Have you ever been there, Aaron?
No.
Opelousas? I have.
Not bad into the wind.
Fair catch called for. That windmill-type signal, boy, you could discern that one. You could see it. It was sent up there by number 30, Bill Whitaker, at about the 25.
Come to Metropolitan and simplify your life.
Hi, Ralph. Laura, how do you run a newspaper and raise a family by yourself?
I worry a lot about the kids mostly, their future, college. Let's face it, Ralph, without a father, I'm all they have.
Well, I wouldn't knock that.
You want to know the truth? Honey, I'd like a secure future, too. Oh, I love my life, but it is complicated.
Life is full of complications. Right now, Metropolitan is helping simplify over 40 million lives with financial plans to protect your family, children's education, build assets, and ease retirement. Talk to us. Together, we can do it.
Now that Met simplified my life, what next?
The front page.
Come to Metropolitan and simplify your life. Come to Metropolitan.
Monday, the award-winning television classic returns, Green Eyes.
Missouri has the ball in the Liberty Bowl, and they lead 14-3 with 10:04 remaining in the first half. Following an LSU punt, they have it near the 25, 1st and 10. Their regular center, Pete Allard, has a hip pointer, and Stokowski has snapped the ball most recently. Newman, 7, is in the lineup for the first time, along with Ellis. Ellis carried on the play. We did receive word from the Missouri bench that Allard will probably get back into the ball game.
He's an outstanding player, too. He's a great center. You know, that's a hard position to play. They're kind of handicapped. You got to have one hand at least on the ball. Some snappers go with two. And get the ball securely up to the quarterback and still make a block. And most teams will put their best defensive man right over you. It's no easy position to play.
Now, split end number 81, Cecil Holloway. He wants to be a broadcaster. Is in the lineup to the far side of the field on a 2nd down and 8. Bradley looking. Bradley looked in the opposite direction of Holloway to Winslow, who caught the 2nd touchdown for Missouri as Brent Elkins, number 19, covered him on the play.
Looked like he might have been able to catch this. You won't find Winslow missing very often. Here's Bradley, rolls his right and throws back. He has Winslow right here. He jumps up. Yep. You'll find him catching more of those than he's going to miss.
Bradley now has completed 4 of 6, 48 yards, 1 touchdown, and that was to Winslow. So here we have a 3rd down and 8 with 9:21 remaining in the first half. Missouri with the ball. They lead 14-3. Newman of Columbia, Missouri, a junior, 7. Number 60, Atia, along with Mike Turner, number 45, a freshman, in on the tackle. Let's take a look at the total yardage thus far in the Liberty Bowl.
You can see Missouri is moving at the clip that they set during the course of the year, 414 yards a game, and has had possession of the ball, but they're forced to kick here, but they do have the win.
Jeff Brockhouse punting again. Chris Williams.
Here they come.
A deadly full rush. Chris Williams on the move. Chris Williams is a very brave player. He did not call for a fair catch as Mark Jones made the tackle. LSU will move the ball following this message.
You gonna try and do that to me?
Yep. That's the pros, man. The only pleasure you have to look forward to is a dip of skull.
We'll see. Have a dip?
I started with mild happy days, and I'll stay with it.
Smokeless is the only way to go.
Just a pinch between my cheek and gum gives me great tobacco taste without lighting up. And leaves my hands free.
You gotta catch me first.
Try roping him. You know, with a little practice, these guys just might make it.
Son, I'm giving you my old car, but I'm not going to give you the money for big repair bills. You can look after it right like I did. Change the oil and put in a new Fram oil filter when you're supposed to, or you can neglect it. A new Fram oil filter is about $5. A new engine, maybe $500. But the choice is yours. You can pay now or pay later.
With that blue Memphis sky overhead, we have 8:41 remaining in the first half. Missouri is leading 14-3. They scored on their first possession on the 75-yard march. LSU came back with a 37-yard field goal, and then a 48-yard march by Missouri to put them ahead 14-3. LSU at the 38. Woodley, 2 of 7. Ready to throw again. Woodley of LSU. Oh, a tip ball intercepted by Eric Wright. Wright, number 21 of Missouri.
Ball was overthrown, Chris.
And it was tipped by Quintella and fielded by Wright.
Woodley rolls out to his right, has plenty of time, sorry, to his left, has plenty of time, and was just slightly overthrown over Quintella. And, of course, you see, well, he gets a pretty good bump there. You see the ball is just over his head there, just overthrown, and just a tag.
And there now we have a 1st and 10 following a 32-yard return by Wright on the interception. Missouri in great field position at the LSU 34. Bradley. Look at that. The LSU players felt that the pass from Bradley to Ellis was a completion and a fumble recovery they hoped.
Let's see, Bradley rolls out. He gets plenty of heat here from Bungarda. Oh, he dealt the ball up. That's a forward pass. He just dropped the ball. It was okay. It's a correct call by the officials.
Thibodeau really put the pressure on, so it's now going to be a 2nd down and 10. From the 34 of LSU, Charlie McClendon.
Well, Charlie doesn't think so, but you know, as a former coach, I can tell you on the sideline, you think the officials make all the mistakes.
Get that, winning 70% of his games. And 43 is Gary Ellis of Columbia, Missouri. Thibodeau, again, joined by 60, Atia.
Coaching up a storm there.
Laying down the law to the Missouri Tigers, who lead 14-3, 7:48. First half. 3rd down and 10.
Out here.
And a big loss of about 7 yards. George Cupid, number 34, was in on David Newman.
Beautifully played screen pass. This is a real piece of defense. You see Bradley comes back, and he fakes the ball to the right, trying to get everybody there, turns and screens back, but you'll see Cupid smell it out. Here he comes and makes the tackle for a loss. Great piece of defensive work.
So it brings up a 4th and 18. Out of field goal range, so Missouri will punt. It is Jeff Brockhouse who does both chores for the Tigers. The wind to his back, it's sailing into the end zone and staying there for a touchback.
Well, that's where you try to get a bunt punt. We used to try to just dump that ball inside the 10 or 15-yard line, but he really unloaded on that one.
The demand for tickets for the 20th annual Liberty Bowl, the greatest ever. Over 50,000 here today, and you know, in college football stadiums everywhere, the attendance set a record in '78, over 34 million spectators, up 1.3 million over last year. It was the 2nd largest increase in college football history, topped only in 1970, when the average college team game schedule was increased from 10 to 11 games per season. Congratulations to fans for getting out to see the games. Now, Ensminger is the quarterback for LSU from the 20. Okay, Gajan of Baton Rouge carried on the play.
Looks like he stole the ball, but the whistle had blown prior to the time that he separated the player from the ball. They're doing a lot of things formation-wise. I'm talking about LSU. They went into what we call trips, trying to get the Missouri Tigers to defense the receivers and then slip the ball to Gajan, but Missouri stayed right in there on that 1st down play.
That's Quintella coming out in motion and setting on a 2nd and 8. From the 22 of LSU, they trail 3-14. Charles Alexander trying to find some room. There was a little hole, but Steve Hamilton, 94, closed it. And we get a better look at Charles Alexander, 6'1", 215 pounds, #1 rusher in LSU history. And in the conference, over 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. What a career.
He really has. He's had a sensational career and be long remembered at LSU.
Now, big 3rd down, 3rd and 4. Wallace is in the lineup. Ensminger is the quarterback. Quintella, #1 in motion. Ensminger. And the junior from Baton Rouge, he needed 5 yards, and let's see.
I think he got it. I think he passed the line. Let's see where he marks it. See where let's take another look at the linebacker. Chris Garlick is See what he does here. He starts back. He thinks it's a pass. Comes on back. Ensminger decides to run the ball. Comes back to the inside and gets in on the play.
In yards passing, as we have a first down for LSU. Missouri with 48, LSU with 41. First and 10 now from the 31 of LSU. 5:19 remaining in the first half. Look at that niftiness by Alexander, who weighs 215 pounds, and he brings it out to the 45 for LSU, and Hamilton stops him.
Fakes to Gajan, gives the ball to Alexander. Look at him run here. Gets out into the open, shakes a tackler, splits him again. I tell you, he's 215 pounds. He's not easy to bring down.
He has about an 8-yard average now in 6 carries. So with the first and 10 at the 45, 29, Murphy is in the lineup, in motion. Alexander. That was Gajan trying to block for Alexander. Gajan, number 47. Alexander stopped this time by Berg, joined by Garlick.
Excuse me, Chris. Gajan's not a little fella either. He's 217.
So the ball is just short of the midfield stripe on the Missouri side. Their own defense in black. So now it's a 2nd and 5. Hamilton was there on Ensminger, number 5.
Good coverage in the secondary. He has plenty of time, actually. See, he comes back. He's looking for a receiver, cannot find one. Finally, Hamilton comes in, number 94, and knocks him down. He had ample time, but good coverage by the Missouri secondary.
So now it's a 3rd down and 10. McDaniel to the near side of the field. Quintella in the slot. Carson is opposite.
I think Ensminger that time forgot his own snap count. He pulled away from the center and created a penalty here.
Missouri with 35 snaps, LSU with 24. Another procedure call, and this one is against LSU. This is the Liberty Bowl. Friday night at 9 Eastern, the Gator Bowl, Ohio State. Of course, coached by the legendary Woody Hayes, a Big Ten power going against Clemson, number 7 ranked by the Associated Press, 8th ranked by the UPI and the Atlantic Coast Conference champions. That'll all happen in Jacksonville, where George Olson and the Gator Bowl staff will welcome those two teams, and ABC. Now with a 3rd and 15. Ensminger trying to hit Quintella. 4th down and 15 coming up for LSU as we have 3 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the first half. Missouri leads 14-3.
That was the same pass. They faked the tailback off tackle to the right, but they had hit Quintella on earlier with Quintella crossing. But that time he just threw the ball a little bit low, and it was much better covered.
Whitaker and Lewis are deep to receive a punt by John Adams, at whom we're looking now. 4th down and 15. Into the wind, slicing off to the right. And rolling dead inside, or just across now, the 35 of Missouri. There's a penalty. We have 3 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the first half, with Missouri in the lead, 14-3.
It appears that the wind had an effect on the ball, and the punt receiver did not have a fair opportunity to field the ball. LSU was downfield for coverage, and the ball was kicked short. The receiver came up, was bumped, and the receiver must have a fair opportunity to catch the ball, and I think that's what the penalty is going to be. Yep, they're going to pace it off against LSU. And it's a 15-yard penalty. It's a tough penalty because the wind had an influence and an effect on that entire play. The ball was not kicked nearly as well as it should be. You can see here, he's trying to come in, and even in this case, as you see, the LSU player is trying to avoid him. And yet it's a 15-yarder. That's a tough one.
So the second tough one against LSU. We're going to take a break and then return for more action in the Liberty Bowl.
These are two of today's newest razors. The one on the right is the Norelco rechargeable rotary razor. This one has 2 blades and pivots up and down. The Norelco 36 rotary blades and 3 adjustable floating heads in a unique shaving angle. Both give you a close shave, but the Norelco lets you walk away from soap and water and just maybe a little surprise. Gotcha. The Norelco rechargeable rotary razor. No nicks, no cuts, no gotcha.
I'm Jim McKay for Timex. The most extraordinary thing about this quartz digital watch is not that it tells you the time all the time, night and day. Not that it's 99.997% accurate. Not that it costs only $32.95. No, the most extraordinary thing is it's a Timex.
The Sugar Bowl, the game that should decide the national championship. Number 1, Penn State battles number 2, Alabama. January 1st, live, 2 o'clock Eastern on ABC.
Following another tough penalty against LSU, Missouri in the black jerseys, 1st and 10 at the LSU 49, 3:21 remaining in the first half with Missouri leading 14-3 in the Liberty Bowl. Wilder carrying on the play, simple handoff straight ahead. Atia was one of them, and there are several. Bayou Bengals in there, including 34 Cupid 86 Adams, whom you have seen punt here today. This is the Liberty Bowl, and their spectacular halftimes are second to none. Both bands 275 members strong. The Marching Mizzou Band and the Golden Band from Tigerland, LSU, Marguerite Piazza, the 3 balloonists, Larry Newman, Ben Abruzzo, and Maxie Anderson are here, and you'll see them in a spectacular at halftime. Racing on a 2nd and 7 play is Wilder again.
Kind of a reverse option that time. Both backs fake to the right as well as the quarterback. Then came back. What they try to do there is they try to get the linebackers to make that one step defensively in the opposite direction so that the blockers can get an advantage.
Those are the Missouri Golden Girls. And I think our viewers will probably enjoy watching them.
Hey, Mom, James Scott.
All right, with a 3rd down and 2 at the 42.
That second effort, I think, see where he marks it. Oh, I think he just marked it a tad short.
And to think, Era, that this is a young player, James Wilder, from Sikeston, Missouri, an education major. He's a sophomore.
Well, he's carried the ball 16 times, and for 63 yards.
We just received a score, Era.
Oh, wow.
Texas really took the measure, didn't they?
They sure did. They beat Maryland 42-0. That is a surprise because Jerry Claiborne, the coach at Maryland, has always had good defensive teams, but apparently Texas must have had a hot day.
And, of course, that was in the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. And we're at the Liberty Bowl, celebrating its 20th birthday, a game that started in Philadelphia, created by a great guy, Bud Dudley.
He is a super guy.
And he happens to be a Notre Dame graduate.
Right.
I knew you wouldn't get that in, so I thought I would show you that all Purdue guys aren't selfish. Okay?
I like you, Chris.
I know. 4th down and 1 now. And for the 2nd time in this game, the Mizzou Tigers go for it on 4th. This is Bradley, their young quarterback. He completes it to Gant. Gant charging. First and goal at the 1.
Boy, I'll tell you that Bradley came down on the, it's an option pass is what it is, but he is so quick. Watch him. The reverse pivots, fakes the trap, comes down. He's looking to hit the tight end. Doesn't find him open there. Keeps scrambling outside. He's so fast he can run away from the contain. Now he dumps the ball off to Gant, and Gant can really run with that football. He's just about 215. Look at him. Look at that spin. Look at that move. You got to pay a price to bring him down.
And he scored the first touchdown here on a 13-yard gallop for the Mizzou Tigers. And this time he moved it to, let's see where they've spotted the ball. Looks like it's the 7.
They're an awesome offensive football team. They're so well balanced. There's just no weakness in that offense. I think that LSU has done a decent job in trying to contain them, but it's such a a difficult chore, as evidenced by the fact that they've averaged 31 points a game.
Now, half the distance to the goal line, there was a penalty. So now they've taken it into the 3.5. Half of 7 is 3.5, right, Arrow?
Okay. Well, I get my calculator. That's a tough one.
Okay, Missouri leads 14-3, a minute 29 remaining in the first half of the Liberty Bowl. So it is first and goal for Missouri at the 3.5. Bradley. Look at that, Wilder.
I mean, they couldn't have defensed it any better. He just ran over about 3 of the defenders. What a piece of running.
Wilder, the sophomore, Missouri Tiger. He has impressed us here in the first half. Sensational.
Take a look at the number of LSU Tigers get a piece of him. There's Boom. He escapes there, and carries the ball in the end zone. He is a real back.
No wonder Missouri upset Notre Dame and Nebraska. They're an opportunistic team, Ara. They take advantage of every opportunity, whether it be a penalty or a turnover, and they do something about it now as Brockhouse tries for the point after. We have a 20-3 game. Well, that was sort of like one of my golf shots, slicing.
That's what happened in the Colorado ball game. They were ahead 27-7 and got beat 28-27 because of a missed extra point.
49 yards in 5 plays. The Golden Girls are ready to entertain you at halftime. So is the LSU band. Look at this. For the first time ever, a man or woman in the United States will report on a lovely lady who wins it for the United States. The Chevrolet Players of the Year. Both bands, Marguerite Piazza, Walter Skis of the United States Army Band, and the 3 balloonists.
Take another look at it. Bradley gives the ball to Wilder. Boom, bang. I mean, he's a running back. Those guys have got good shots at him. Incidentally, looking at the statistics, Chris, I noticed that 207 yards have been gained by Missouri, and that is exactly half of their average, which is 414 a game. They're right on target.
Hokie Gaijon, number 47, is deep for LSU. And kicking is Brockhouse. Hokie has it at the 5. Two men blocking. But good kick coverage by the Missouri Tigers, who have a 20-3 lead as we're counting down to the halftime with 1:17 to go. Terry Newman, number 8, majoring in public and community services, makes the stop.
Yeah, Chris, that Missouri really played a tough schedule this year, and you take on Notre Dame, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Nebraska, and they split with that group. They won 2 and lost 2. That's in fast company.
Whitney snaps the ball for LSU. Jay Whitney, a pre-dental student. Number 5 is Insminger. He was aiming it for Quintella, and he completed it. Mike Quintella, a senior from Port Arthur, Texas.
Well, they put 3 receivers out to the right, and Quintella just runs an out pattern. He was hit just before he threw the ball. Oh, that came within an eyelash of being intercepted, too.
I thought it was a first down. Let's see what's happening here.
Well, he's marking it just a little short.
The snap came from the 22 era.
Well,
and it's beyond the 32.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
wait a minute here.
Wait a minute here is right, sports fans.
No 11-yard first downs. Yeah, there they go. They're moving the chains now.
Okay. All right, now, LSU has 1 minute and 9 seconds.
Now they got to have a big play somewhere along here, Chris. They just got to have a big play. They're deployed in a prevent defense. Missouri is...
We had Alexander going in motion first, and then our friend Hokie Gaijon. He either went in motion or moved illegally.
Penalties have really hurt LSU in this ball game. On 2 occasions, the defense is held, and then, of course, a penalty has provided possession of the ball, once on that roughing of the punter, You take a look right here, 5 for 44 and 1 for 5, and they've been very costly to LSU.
So it's back 5 yards against LSU. First and 15. And the ball is at the 20, let's call it the 27. Alexander again in motion. They call the same play. Insminger, number 5.
They seem to be having difficulty picking up the secondary receivers downfield. He was forced out, of course, got outside of the contain.
50 seconds.
Yeah, 50 seconds left to go. But LSU, to get back into this ball game, they have to come up with a big play somewhere along here to go into halftime. If they could get one on the board, they could get back into this contest.
So now they have a 2nd down and 8 at their own 34. Tipped by 2 players. Quintella first. Berg finally received it for the Missouri Tigers. He's from Rolla, Missouri, a junior, number 36. Quintella tipped it first. Watch again. Then a Mizzou player tipped it after.
It's double tipped. And, of course, that's the kind of bad break. You can see Carlos Carson comes down, spins off. He's open right here. The ball is just overthrown. There's not much you can do about that. He was open. And, of course, the deflections, and Eric Berg has the ball. A pretty good runner, too.
All right, Missouri's 2 of their 3 touchdowns came near the 48 and 49 in situations just like this. They're at the LSU 48, first down, 37 seconds remaining in the first half. Bradley. Bradley is down at the 30, first down. 28 seconds remaining in the first half.
You think Bradley doesn't have a few moves? Watch this. He rolls out, doesn't find anyone open, scrambles with the ball. Watch him put a move right in here. Gives him a double look.
But we have a penalty against Missouri, Earl.
He left the defender sitting right there. George Cupid. Poor George just couldn't hang on. Well, it was a penalty. That's a break for LSU. They haven't had many in this first half.
So Carpenter, the referee, as you see, 28 seconds to go. That's the field clock time. And don't go away, because the Liberty Bowl spectacular halftime is always a moving one worth watching, a little of everything. Freedom Foundation does a great production, which you'll see. So we just hope you'll stay with us here.
Bud Dudley always does things first class.
All right, first and 50. And the ball now is at the Missouri 47, and here's Bradley. And Bradley hits number 10, Leo Lewis, stopping the clock with 20 seconds to go. Quinn covering.
You know, I'm amazed the way Bradley, here's Leo Lewis. Talk about Bradley here just in a minute. Reads the coverage perfectly, but Bradley rolled to his left, one of the most difficult things to do for a right-hander, and delivered the ball with great authority and with ease. He has such coordination that he can do it either right or left, and you can watch as quarterbacks play. You'll see they have much more difficulty on the average going to their left trying to throw. Bradley does it with ease.
All right, split backs, first and 10 from the 28, 20 seconds to go, first half. 20-3 the score. A lead pass is just too long. On a nice move and with tremendous speed, number 82, Ken Blair of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, a sophomore, and Coach Warren Powers. Well, they'll have a pretty fair team coming back next year.
I guarantee you. Well, I tell you, he's done a terrific job at Missouri. And, you know, when he first started the season, I think if anyone would have guessed that he would have even a 500 season with the teams that he had on his schedule, they'd been happy with it. But he took this team to a 7-4 year, and you can see why.
Slot formation to the far side on 2nd and 10. Holloway is in the lineup. Bradley has it. Clock running, coming down to 4 seconds, and the flag is down as Marcus Quinn tripped up the young quarterback for Missouri. Let's check with the man in the white cap.
Looks like it might have been holding. It's back at the line of scrimmage before Bradley took off on his scramble, and that will hopefully save LSU here, because they're being hard pressed with a little time left to go in the half. 4 seconds, as you see.
Here, I don't want to make you nervous, but I have a question.
Yep.
Do you have your Christmas shopping completed?
No, I've got plenty of time.
Okay.
Let's see if we can see what happened here.
right.
Comes Bradley back, looking for the receiver. Oh, he can't see the holding in that particular shot. But here's Bradley putting the move on. Look at the way he holds that ball like a loaf of bread. Well, he puts it away. All right. Now, that's the way you do it. Little sophomore knows what he's doing.
So, the snap was at the 28, and the ball comes back to the 48. It'll be second down and 30 with 4 seconds left on the first half clock here in the Liberty Bowl. Missouri is leading 20-3 as we look at the Missouri head coach, Warren Powers, graduate of Nebraska.
Oh, he was a great player also, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oakland Raiders.
He played, he was a great defensive back with Oakland. Of course, he was a quarterback when he was played 2 ways when he was at Nebraska. And then, of course, he brought the Washington State team down and upset Nebraska in the opening game a couple years ago.
This is our first of our 3 Holiday Bowl games on ABC. The Liberty Bowl, Friday night, the 29th, it'll be the Gator Bowl, Clemson, Ohio State. Then January 1 at 2 Eastern Time, Penn State and Alabama in the game of the year. All on ABC.
That Charlie Pell has done a great job at Clemson, and that ought to be a whale of a ball game. Ohio State will be smarting from their loss to Michigan. And, of course, Clemson, the conference champion, will want to show well in that game.
Signals called now by Bill Bradley, Macomb, Illinois. That's sort of down in the southeastern part of Illinois. Second down and 30. 4 seconds on the first half clock. And the horn is sounded. The first half is ended in the 20th Liberty Bowl. And Missouri, a 1-touchdown favorite, goes into the locker room at halftime, leading LSU by a score of 20-3. The halftime that you won't want to miss is about to start.
A lot of cars are like pizzas. To get a lot on them, you got to pay a lot extra. But not the 1979 Chevy Chevette. It comes with a lot already on it. Chevette ignores the pizza principle. With it, you get an AM radio, reclining bucket seats, console, white striped tires, and more, all at no extra cost. So avoid the pizza principle.
Hi, Richie.
Get a car with a lot already on it. Get the best-selling small car in America, Chevy Chevette. It's a lot of car for the money.
Hi, Richie.
Hi, kid.
I've played out of some monsters before, but this one's something else. It's the Terex Titan, the world's largest truck. It's the Big Daddy in the Terex line of off-highway equipment. Equipment used worldwide for mining, logging, and heavy construction. Whether it's playing golf or moving mountains, you need the right iron. And baby, that's a lot of iron. Woo!
Sunday, Marlo Thomas meets an angel who grants her greatest wish. It happened one Christmas.
From New York to Chicago, an evening with friends can be matched.
What are you drinking?
There's no debate.
Show us a trick, Charlie.
Beer makes it good. Schlitz makes it great.
11 million times a day, America reaches for a Schlitz.
Since 1849, there's no debate. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer. Schlitz makes it great.
Hey, everybody, it's Crazy George time at Gentilly Dodge. And Crazy George prices, too! Come see Gentilly Dodge for the top pickup truck. Come take a look at the flashy love vans, and you'll love the Crazy George prices.
Hi, George.
Come drive that great-looking Magnum. Wow. And at Crazy George prices, too. You're number 1 at Gentilly Dodge. Now!
Watch The Odd Couple weeknights on Channel 8.
Missouri from Columbia lead LSU from Baton Rouge 20-3 in the Liberty Bowl. The musical representatives of the great university in Baton Rouge are on the field, 275 members strong. One of the Golden Girls who have come up the river. to this Mississippi River town of Memphis. This band is directed by Nicholas Rouse. The drum major is Mike Bro. Kieran Smith is the choreographer for the Golden Girls. And, of course, you'll see a flagpole out there. And they have just a short portion here in the spectacular halftime, which precedes the big show, doing Magic to Do and Pippin finale, but they'll be combined with the Missouri band when the honor is given to the 3 balloonists who successfully crossed the Atlantic. Of course, on this 50-degree day, and heading north after the game, where there'll probably be snow, we think of the Winter Olympic Games that ABC has exclusive rights to at Lake Placid in 1980. And cross-country skiing is one of the exciting events, having covered it in several Winter Games, and especially when the young ladies compete. The Americans have done fairly well in the past, but just this week, we had a performance by a young woman that makes our hopes in those cross-country skiing events, Nordic events, look even better at Lake Placid. In the first Nordic World Cup ever for men and women, Allison Owen Spencer of the United States won the women's 5-kilometer World Cup race held at Cable, Wisconsin. That was Wednesday, December 20th. There she is, number 29. She's a 25-year-old physical education student who had several finishes inside the top 10 during last season's races. Started 29th, but as she moved to the halfway mark, she led by 11 seconds. All competitors in this 5-kilometer race, as you see, started individually, 30-second intervals, and raced for the best total time over the course. Her winning time was 17 minutes, 14 seconds, almost 14 seconds ahead of Maria Johansson of Sweden. And for the first ever Nordic win by an American in the first World Cup competition in Nordic skiing. So, with the 80 Winter Olympic Games at Lake Placid just a little over a year away, ABC Sports salutes Allison Owen Spencer on that great victory. We look forward to her continued success. LSU band with Nicholas Rouse going into many formations. They have been here in Memphis and have enjoyed the hospitality of all the Liberty Bowl people. That the LSU band is playing is called Pippin Finale. You'll see more of the LSU band and the Missouri band a little bit later, but here in Memphis, the score is Missouri 20, LSU 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Bill Fleming. In a short time, we're going to be returning to the halftime activities at the Liberty Bowl, but right now, I'd like to introduce to you an old friend. He's Mr. Bob Cook, General Sales Manager of Chevrolet Motor Division, and today he has joined us to make the presentations to the offensive and defensive players of the year. Bob, welcome back.
It's nice to be here, Bill. You know, this is a very exciting time for us. I know you and the other ABC sportscasters must have some tough decisions to make this year.
Well, just to refresh the memories of our viewers, in the 72 games televised by ABC this year, our commentators in each one of those games votes for the offensive and defensive players of those games. Chevrolet then sends a check for $1,000 to their respective schools' General Scholarship Fund in their names. Now we come to the Grand Award. $5,000 goes to the General Scholarship Fund by Chevrolet to the schools represented by these two outstanding players. First of all, the defensive player of 1978, a young man who plays defensive tackle and an awful lot of it for Penn State University, number 54 defensive tackle Bruce Clark. 6'2", 260 pounds, and he was the heart of a defense that allowed opponents an amazingly meager 54 yards per game. Bruce Clark, a unanimous All-America choice and runner-up for the Outland Trophy. And he's here with us today. Bob?
Bruce, you had a great year. You know, this is only the second time that a junior's been chosen for this award. So on behalf of Chevrolet, it's a great pleasure for me to present this gold football trophy to you. And along with it, a check for $5,000 will be sent to the General Scholarship Fund, Penn State University. There you are.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. I'm glad that I can give a student an education through my efforts in football.
Congratulations, Bruce, and good luck in that Sugar Bowl game.
The tenor, orchestra, and singers and volunteer talent from the Chickasaw Council Boy Scouts and the Air National Guard.
What they have done since the last time that I've seen them is a great improvement in their pass defense. It failed them in the Colorado game, particularly in the last quarter and a half. And, of course, now they have intercepted 2 passes, and they're moving around and delaying receivers and covering better.
It's certainly been nice coming to Memphis, the Liberty Bowl. This is for ABC. It's 14th year. And I've had the good fortune, I think, doing 11 of them. And I'm just happy to be here. And there's quite the coaches. Charles McClendon, a 17-year veteran, and then there's Warren Powers of Missouri era.
Right. How many years have you been in this, Chris?
In the Liberty Bowl?
Yeah.
11.
Oh, I'm right behind you. This is my second.
There's time. Okay, on Friday night, Era will be at the Gator Bowl with Keith Jackson as Ohio State and Clemson will play. That's at 9 Eastern time right here on ABC. And then, of course, at the Sugar Bowl, it'll be Penn State and Alabama battling for the national championship, the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame's MacArthur Bowl, etc., etc.
Boy, that's going to be some kind of a ball game.
2 coaches, Charles McClendon, probably coach next year.
Yes, Charlie will be back next year. We talked to him earlier yesterday in the lobby, and he will be back for at least another year. And then, of course, he will serve as the assistant athletic director, or associate director under Paul Dietzel. And also will be, as you mentioned earlier, there's Warren Powers.
He bought himself out of a contract at Washington State, Era. First time ever.
Unprecedented in college football. Warren Powers wanted to move into Missouri, and of course, with what the personnel that he has there, the job that he's done, he paid $55,000 to buy off 2 of the years that he had remaining. Now, that's the first time that's ever happened in college football.
All right, Brockhouse of Missouri moves to the ball. Hookie Gajan for LSU is back, and wisely touches it down for a touchback. It'll come out to the 20, where LSU, trailing 3-20, will try to get some points on the board here in the Liberty Bowl. We look at the defensive faces for the Missouri Tigers. There you see Peterson. We called his number 88 quite often. Hamilton, number 94. Benny Smith, nose guard. Ron Suda, number 86, and Wendell Ray. Fine-looking young men. The defensive men up front is David Woodley now for LSU. The Bayou Bengals are in white, of course, trailing 3-20. They have the ball at their own 20, 1st and 10. Woodley to Alexander. Alexander hit very, very low by number 36, Eric Berg. Let's look at the men behind the men up front. There's Berg. He just made the tackle. Chris Garlick, the scholar athlete. Johnny Poe. Bill Whitaker of Kansas City, and Larry Lauderdale of Cassville, Missouri, and Eric Wright.
And also, they lost Russ Calabrese, their defensive right corner man, because of an injury. He was a starter and a fine football player, but he's out and replaced by Whitaker.
That's Quintella, number 1, that sets at the top of your screen. And the deep man, Alexander. Look at the moves by Alexander. Just beautiful moves, quick feet. Great balance, and it's a 1st down for Charlie McClendon's Tigers. Here's the offensive backfield. Woodley, the quarterback, and Alexander, number 4. Gajan, number 47, and Quintella. And you have Carson Rich, Johnson, Whitley, Delaunay and Dugas, another scholar athlete, along with Cliff Lane.
Dugas is a real football player.
So now, from the 37, Carson is to the near side. A spin and a sweep by the quarterback Woodley from Shreveport. And Eric Berg comes in. That is Bradley, the quarterback for Missouri. Incidentally, one of the LSU players in the first half, number 11, Britt, sustained a broken jaw. And we hope James Britt, the freshman, a straight-A student from Mendon, Louisiana, will mend hurriedly. His place being taken by Brent Elkins. All right, here's a 2nd and 9. Oh, hello, Charles Alexander. You know, he had the hamstring trouble most of the year, yet he gained over 1,000 yards. What a player.
This is a little delayed draw, and it's beautifully blocked. He weaves his way right through the center of the field, cuts to the right here, and finally is brought down. It looks like LSU is being patient, going to keep the ball on the ground.
He now has 84 yards and 10 carries. That was a 1st and 10 snap from the 42 as Gaijon Hokie, number 47 from Baton Rouge, carried, and he may have gotten across the Missouri 40. 13-14 remaining, 3rd quarter. Missouri leads 20-3. With the ball, let's call it the 40. It'll be a 2nd down and 8 for LSU in white. McDaniels set to the near side. Gaijon carrying on the play. Steve Hamilton, education major, number 94. Another education major, Benny Smith, a freshman from East St. Louis, in on the tackle.
Well, they're faced with a big down now, 3rd down about 4 or 5. And they've kept the ball on the ground so far, and they've been very successful. But this may necessitate either that draw play again or going to the air for the 1st down.
Carson, number 3 at the top of the screen. Number 1 is in the slot, Quintella. Gaijon, 47, Alexander, 4, blocking. And it is complete. The number 3, Carlos Carson of West Palm Beach, Florida. Bill Whitaker over on the far sideline defending.
They had a blitz on. It was man-to-man coverage. Carlos just breaks to the outside, and his coverage man is far enough away, and the ball is delivered under pressure right on the mark to Carlos.
All right, LSU started this drive at their own 20. They have now reached the 23 of Missouri. 12-18 remaining in the 3rd quarter. A couple of yards by Charles Alexander from Galveston, Texas. Hamilton and Smith tackling. There's Charles McClendon.
I think you gave them a little talking to at halftime. They came out here stomping and running, and I think they want to get back into this ball game, and they're on their way to it with this drive.
All right, now number 1 going outside as a flanker just side out. The left tackle now way wide on a 2nd down and 8. Alexander getting to the 15 of Missouri. Peterson, Kurt Peterson, and the bookends, or the defensive ends, pinching in Wendell Ray, number 90, to stop number 4. Let's see where the ball will be spotted at the 15 as we look at the statistics of Alexander. 92 yards on 12 carries.
You know, that's, and he generally carries the ball about 27 to 28 times a ball game, and he's got 92 yards. You wouldn't know it by the score because of the errors and penalties that have been costly to the LSU Tigers.
Now it's a 3rd and 2. Sort of a power I formation. And Alexander is oh so close. Woodley kept the ball. Alexander faked it into the line. And let's see where the forward progress is stopped. See all the officials waving their arms, stopping the clock with 10:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Look at the referee, Robert Carpenter, how carefully he is placed and holding the football on a gusty day, the wind blowing from right to left in Memphis.
We had a nice visit with all the officials last night at the party. They're all from the Atlantic Coast Conference. All seem like really nice guys. You know, these fellows just do it as an avocation, and certainly they're well-trained, and this crew is doing a good job.
LSU 1st down at the Missouri 13. They took the opening kickoff here of the 2nd half. LSU, if you just joined us. And they have moved from the 20. They have now penetrated to the 13 of Missouri. Missouri leading 20-3. Robert DeLee of Clinton, Louisiana, number 43, replaces Cliff Lane.
They're coming, they're blitzing.
Alexander down to the 6.
He really weaved his way well that time. Missouri went to man-to-man coverage, putting the blitz on. And you see Alexander picks the daylight that's there, comes clear back across the grain. I tell you, he's a load in there.
All right, so as we look down on the field now with the ball at the 6, it is a second down for the underdog, LSU Tigers from Baton Rouge. 2nd and 3. Guy Jean, a tough runner. Number 47 in white, running right over number 90, Wendell Ray.
You see a little trap play in here. See the left guard pulls and traps. Guy Jean goes through a very small crack in there and gets right down to the 1-yard line.
All right, the temperature has gone up 3 degrees. It's now 58 here in Memphis. 1st and goal. LSU, power I. Touchdown, Alexander. All right, that makes it 20-9 here in the 3rd quarter with 9:37 to go. An 80-yard drive, a beauty, Arrow.
Alexander just dives over the pile. He gets the ball deep enough where he can read it, and he just launches himself. And you see that he gets into the end zone, and interestingly enough, in the second half, he has carried the ball 7 times, and I'm talking about Alexander, for 52 yards, and he only had 48 yards in the first half, so he's off to a great second half start.
Mike Conway now trying for the point after. It is blocked. Number 88, that's Peterson, coming through to block the point after, and the score remains 20-9. And now we have had 2 conversion attempts blocked, 1 on each team. 9:37 to go following that 80-yard drive, and on the 12th play, Alexander scored. We'll be back.
General Motors does make a lot of cars, but a lot of people don't know that we are the biggest producer of diesel-electric locomotives. My kids they call it the locomotive factory.
John Schranz, locomotive tester. This is who we are and what we do at General Motors.
We test the final product. When we start the locomotive up for the first time, it rumbles a little bit, and it runs. It's just a great feeling. They call us the glory people, but it takes everybody to make a product. Everybody's got to be good, and they are. They are craftsmen in their own way. It's hard to explain. It is a relationship, man and his machine. That engine is probably the best engine in the world. We need the railroad industry. There's no 2 ways around it. We are part of it, and I think we do a heck of a job.
General Motors. People building transportation to serve people.
The Gator Bowl. Woody Hayes, Ohio State Buckeyes battle 7th-ranked Clemson. Friday night live, 9 o'clock Eastern on ABC.
In the background, the press box, as you see, an 80-yard drive by LSU in 12 plays with Alexander scoring. Point after missed. They controlled the ball 5 minutes and 23 seconds. 9:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Missouri leading LSU 20-9. It'll be Conway kicking. Leo Lewis is number 10 deep. Sly is number 28. All right, there is Lewis with the ball for Missouri, bringing it out to about the 28. So the Tigers from Columbia, Missouri, who looked very impressive in the first half, get their initial opportunity to try and move the ball against the LSU defense. There's the backfield. What? Number 94, defense. Thibodeau. You've seen him on a lot of tackles. Atia. Rojas well. Adams, who punts in addition to his defensive right end duties. Stokowski is snapping the ball for Missouri to the quarterback Bradley. From the 28, Earl Gant, who scored the first touchdown of the game on a 13-yard run, is stopped by White. As we look at more of the defenders for LSU, Cupid, Rinaldi, James Britt, who broke his jaw in the first half, and Chris Williams, Quinn, and Willie Teal. So with the ball at the 29 for Missouri in black, it is a 2nd down and 9. They lead 20-9. And there is Wilder, who scored the 3rd Missouri touchdown, the sophomore, stopped by Broha. For Missouri, now we map the offensive backfield. Phil Bradley is the quarterback, sophomore, number 15. Gant is a senior, number 23. Wilder, a sophomore, number 32. And Lewis is a senior from Columbia, site of the university. So with the ball at the 33, gain of 4, it's going to be 3rd down and 5. Big play for the LSU defense right now.
It is. Open hole there. They got the option again, and Bradley gets it. That was a big play because the momentum had shifted to LSU's favor with that 80-yard drive. And, of course, that 3rd down and 5, they could have gotten the ball back. And here they are. They relinquished or gave a 1st down, and Missouri has 3 more opportunities.
Bradley needed 5. He got 7, Arrow.
He's a player.
Bradley now sending number 80, Lamont Downer, to the far side, 82 Blair to the near side. They'll snap the ball from their own 40, 1st down. Oh, there's a throwaway.
Well, he had no one open. I was surprised he didn't run with the ball. He had some leverage there because he loves to take off with it. He's talking to his receivers now. You're supposed to run an up pattern, he's saying. Well, you didn't pay attention to what I said.
Downer was the nearest player, Missouri player, to the flight of the ball, but Willie Teal, number 37, was covering him very closely on the play.
Oh, let's see what we got here. 2nd down and 10. Got a lot of lines in there. I can't tell you what he's doing, but that's quite a formula there.
Second down and 10. See how Wilder hits?
I tell you, he's a strong back.
94 White was one of the defenders. Took some gang tackling to bring 32 down. Attia was there, plays for LSU from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Wilder, excuse me, Chris.
Go ahead.
Wilder's got 76 yards now and 19 carries. And most of it has been avoiding tackles on the first shot.
Hard-earned yards. His touchdown came from 3.5 yards out. 3rd and 6.
Running right through trouble. Look at that.
Wilder now getting closer to the yardage gained by LSU's Charles Alexander. He's having a field day.
Well, you see, one of the things, Chris, is on that play it was well defensed by LSU, but they just cannot bring him down. The first tackler doesn't ever seem to get him down. He just seems to run right through him.
Now the ball is at the LSU 43. Wilder, 88 yards, 20 carries. Interception by Brent Elkins, the senior from Dallas, Texas, number 19. Pass intended for Winslow. Caught it on his knees. Watch.
Brent Elkins does a great job here. As a matter of fact, I talked to both he and his parents today. He's from Dallas, and he makes it's a right call. His knee is down. Right here, he makes a great catch. They're trying to run all the way up the field. See, his knee is down here as he catches it. It's LSU's ball, but tough field position.
All right, they'll try to move it from the 2 after this.
In December 1945, America's most controversial general, George S. Patton, was killed in an auto accident in Germany. $250 million in gold says it was no accident. A train that may never reach its destination. A baffling mystery that may never be solved. Sophia Loren, John Cassavetes, George Kennedy, Max von Sydow. Brass target. Rated PG. See newspaper for theater near you.
Daddy, Marvin has some...
Well,
I'll tell you,
70% of his games.
It was a good call, really. He's only had one losing season in 17 years as a head some kind of record in the league that they play.
It's a new record crowd here at the Liberty Bowl, 53,064. Second and 13, and Bradley finds his man. That is Wilder. The versatility of Wilder is something.
He managed to avoid the first tackler, although he stumbled. He still picked up 2 or 3 extra yards. He's a good pass receiver. Coming into this game, he'd had 20.
There's Whitaker, who intercepted the pass. He's from Kansas City, Missouri, a sophomore, a major in arts and sciences. Yep, 3rd down and 6.
He took Russ Calabrese's position, and I remember talking to Warren Powers and the coaches when I went in there for one of the other games, and they were really high on Bill Whitaker, and he's doing a good job.
Bradley is 8 of 15 as he calls timeout. He has 107 yards passing with 1 touchdown. So as he calls timeout, we're going to take a break, and reminding you that Missouri leads LSU 20-9.
What would it cost to replace your car's muffler, including installation?
Oh, I'd say about $50.
No, wait, $45.
It'll be around $30.
I guess about $40.
The aluminized Sears muzzler is only $19.99.
That's half of what I guessed. It's hard to believe. On a Cadillac? Is that really true? $19.99.
That's a terrific price with installation included.
That's something.
Should have known it. Sears.
The muzzler, only $19.99 installed. Only at Sears.
A good quarterback does his homework on and off the field. That's probably why the 3 of us are all drinking light beer from Miller.
See, Light's got a 1/3 less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling.
Plus, it tastes great. And you know it's important to have a command of facts like that.
It's mental discipline, really.
You're darn right. Because if you know every position, every option, every formation, you'll never get your signals crossed.
Hey, that's my beer, Terry.
Oh, no, this is... No, wait a minute.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Peel my label.
ABC's Wide World of Sports. Then downhill World Cup skiing from Val Gardena, Italy, next Saturday.
So, 4:39 left in the 3rd quarter of the 20th birthday of the Liberty Bowl. LSU cheerleaders cheering their team on as they have come back here in the 3rd quarter. 80-yard drive, and on the 12th play, their star, Alexander, scored. They failed on the point after. So now, on nearly back-to-back interceptions, Missouri gets the ball. They are now on a 3rd down snap with 6 to go from the 36, and flags and everywhere.
Looked like Dave Gunder jumped.
Yeah.
The left tackle.
LSU 5 of 44. That was like a 5-yarder.
He's a native of Berwyn, Pennsylvania, major in agriculture, a junior, 6'3", 245, number 76. But he's played a good game.
He really has. Their offensive line really gelled together as the season progressed, but they had the kind of competition that they didn't have any choice. They had to gel together and had great success.
So it's going to be a 3rd down, replay the down, plus the 5-yard penalty. 3rd down and 11. And the ball is at the 41. Here's Bradley of Missouri.
Well, they're scrambling around, but it was an incomplete pass.
Right. That was Gary Ellis, number 43 of Missouri. That little shovel basketball pass. Watch his scramble.
Well, he gets a lot of pressure here. He rolls out to his left, and he's getting a lot of heat. You see here, he jumps right up in between 2 defenders and just dumps the ball off. Let's see whether or not he has possession. Hits it with his left hand, juggles it with his right, and the ball goes to the ground. Now, you can see good coaching because when in doubt, you go after the football. But it was a forward pass and incomplete.
Now on 4th down and 11, Jeff Brockhouse, who's averaging 40 on 2 punts, will kick with the wind to his back. And deep we have Chris Williams. Ooh, a fine punt returner. Number 22 for LSU. Starts to darken. And it takes a Missouri bounce. Or did it? Let's see how it will be ruled, whether it's a touchback.
It looked like they had it down. Let's see if we can take a look at it in the replay here. What happens? The ball bounces and cushions out on about the 3 or 4 yard line. The ball goes right through. Let's see what happened. Well, we can't see. Somewhere that ball was kicked and deflected into the end zone. We can't quite see it, but it's a proper call because possession was never decided here. Let's see it again. The ball goes through. Now the ball is there. There it's kicked. Appears to be kicked, but the ball does go in the end zone. They did not down it, and it comes out to the 20.
So it's a break for LSU of about, let's see, 18 yards at least.
Oh, yeah.
So they have the ball now at the 20. Snapping it is Whitley. To Woodley. To Charles Alexander.
Well, they were patient on that first drive, and they got that bad field position, a poor field position, and went to the home run ball, and that was their third interception. They've had a lot of turnovers and penalties in the ball game. We got 4 minutes left to go in the third period, and LSU playing a good second half.
Alexander now has 108 yards rushing. LSU 136. So this time Woodley on a keeper, the quarterback. And it should be a first down. And look at that pyramid.
It seems as if when you get great athletes together, even though that our defensive teams are good, they have difficulty in tackling the great backs. Woodley managed to escape there when he looked like he was going to be knocked down for a yard loss and picked up a first down.
Big number 1. Okay, number 6 coming to the near sideline is Wallace. In the slot we have Murphy. But the ball goes to Charles Alexander. He averaged 106 yards per game this year. 14 touchdowns, Alexander. LSU with 13 first downs. Missouri with 16. Alexander on a 5-yard gain out to the 36. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Now, at halftime, it was 14-7, so you can see that LSU is making a comeback.
32, McDaniel to the near side of the field on a 2nd and 5. Alexander, a young man from Galveston, Texas, who has a grandmother, Nellie Cooper, that is 95 years old. I bet she's watching him, number 4.
You bet, and this is a little draw play again. Alexander is really shaking tacklers as well. Both backs have been tough to get down. They got Chris Garlick going back. He thinks it's a pass and then comes back in again and makes a hit on Alexander right here. Holds on. And Alexander now has 120 yards, 1 touchdown, and 18 carries. Not a bad, and we're not over the third quarter yet.
Chris Garlick, one of the 11 recipients of the scholarships at the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame dinner. Short time back, has a 3.6 grade average out of a possible 4.
Well, they were saying he applies that same intelligence as a linebacker defensively. I was talking to the coaches, and they said he's really smart. He smells out things in the right place almost all the time, and he is a great player.
And Dugas, the offensive right tackle for LSU, number 72, an equal grade average as a pre-med student in Baton Rouge.
He's going to be a big doctor. He's only 267.
Well, we're getting a Missouri jersey with the pads and all. It's not that easy to get on. The championships of the United States Golf Association, the highlights and dramatic moments of the U.S. Open, the victory by Andy North, and the Women's Open, the triumph by Hollis Stacy, will be seen tomorrow on ABC, so check your local listings for time in your area. Garlick now 6 solos and 1 assist. You know, as we go along throughout the years, we just received a sad note from our Vice President of Production, Chuck Howard, that in Lake Placid, New York, there's great sadness because the president of the Lake Placid Olympic Committee passed away today, Mr. Ron McKenzie. He was really the man behind getting the games back to the United States, and more specifically to Lake Placid. And his efforts, of course, will be appreciated, but Ron, whom we got to know in Innsbruck, will be vastly missed. We express our sympathy to his family and all of those Olympic Committee members in Lake Placid. Okay, Guy Jean, number 47. That was a 1st and 10 play from midfield.
Very well blocked. It was a trap play. They really had it open.
Don't worry, that's it.
So the ball is still at midfield. that. Alexander 120 yards. Missouri's had 159.
Well, that time they stopped him.
Jim Matthews, number 78 from Overland Park, Kansas, joined by 88 Peterson in on the stop. The last Southeast Conference battle, as we look at number 78, Matthews being assisted to the near sideline. We'll try to get a report on his injury. The last time a Southeastern Conference team and a Big 8 team met here in the Liberty Bowl was in '69, and Colorado took the measure of Bear Bryant's Alabama. We have now 3rd down and 4. Woodley. There's a completion in Missouri territory at approximately the 42, Quintella, with a lot of heat put on by Larry Lauderdale. Watch.
Quintella goes in motion. He starts up the field. Let's see, now he breaks to the outside here. And I believe this is Whitaker coming over here. Timing it. No, that was a free safety, Eric Wright. 27, no, that was Lauderdale, yeah.
All right, so it's a 1st and 10 for LSU, trying to come back with 1 minute and 1 second remaining in the 3rd quarter. 20 to 9 rather. Alexander again getting inside the 40 to approximately the 37. Pick up a 4 before Goodman made the tackle.
Got to believe that Missouri has got to be a little bit nervous at this stage with 11-point lead. And, of course, LSU has really picked up. Take a look at the yards in this half. LSU 163, Missouri 159. And LSU on the move.
Alexander goes into the slot. Inside McDaniel on a 2nd and 6. And Alexander catches the pass. Big period yet to be played. 6, Wallace to the near side. They used the up back, the near back, Gaijon, and time has run out on the 3rd quarter clock. So as we await the next snap of the 4th and final quarter, Missouri is in the lead by a score of 20 to 9. We'll be back.
Det måste inte vara hård för att möta möjliga och fort och lite tändstift.
ليس من الضروري أن تكون سياراتك من صنع فورد لكي تستفيد قدر الإمكان من شرار شمعات أوتولايت.
Autolite makes plugs for Fords, but they also make plugs for almost every car made, American or import.
Doesn't have to be a Ford. Get the most Autolite spark plug.
Got a Christmas story to tell, and you really want to tell it well.
14 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the Liberty Bowl. Missouri leads LSU 20 to 9 and are in possession.
The trucking industry. It's as basic to the American way of life as Main Street. As basic and every bit as vital. Think about it for a minute. At least 75% of the food you eat, the clothes you and your family wear, the furniture you use, even the car you drive are brought to you by truck. As long as trucks keep moving, America keeps moving too.
You don't need a haircut, Mr. Reed. You need Brill Cream.
Brill Cream?
Sure. Your hair is short enough, but it's a mess.
It sure is.
Brill Cream, so concentrated, just a little dab keeps my hair healthy looking and in control all day. Watch. Without Brill Cream, hair's out of control. With Brill Cream, hair stays in control. Try a little dab. See? Terrific, huh?
You're right. With Brill Cream, a little dab will do you.
Now, our great ABC cameraman, directed by Eddie Sedaris, have given you more of that sunset. After a fumble recovery, Missouri has the ball. From their own 27, they move forward. Bradley, the quarterback, handing off to number 32, James Wilder, with good blocking by 72, Richards, and a tackle by Minalda from Lake Charles, number 38. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
That's absolutely gorgeous. And look at the stats there. LSU has gone ahead in first downs as a result of that great third quarter, and they really missed a super opportunity with that fumble that just occurred in the field position that they had.
All right, split back, 2nd and 4 for Missouri, and again it's Mr. Wilder. Roja, number 97 of New Orleans, making the stop, and let's see where the referee, Robert Carpenter, spotted the ball at approximately the 36, so it's going to be a 3rd down and 1. Turnovers now are 4-1. LSU with 3 interceptions, losing a fumble. Missouri had 1 interception.
And LSU during the year had done pretty well on their turnover ratio, but the defensive team had gotten the ball back 41 times on interceptions and fumbles.
Wilder, 32. He is over 100 yards. First down, and sophomore Wilder. Stopped by Teal and Elkins. That was his 23rd carry. And let's see how much yardage. He goes out to the 47. It's an 11-yard gain, so he now is in with 109 yards, Era, in the ball game.
Come up with a big play when they have to have it. Here they go again. They'll bleed more time off that clock. LSU needs that football back.
On their own 47. Bradley. To Wilder. Wilder is down at midfield. Marcus Quinn on the tackle.
I think that's the first time they've knocked him down without Wilder getting another extra yard or two. Which is a rarity. Good. Thank you.
Coming in to make the stop was one of the members of LSU's Soul Patrol.
Yeah.
2nd and 7 from midfield.
Good job by the defense that time, Chris, the whole line. They slid right with it that time.
Well, let's see now. The ball is at the 47 of LSU with 12-11 remaining and the clock running in the ball game. Missouri leading 20-9. They led at halftime 20-3.
Plenty of time. 12 minutes, a little over 12 minutes to go. Plenty of time for LSU. They can get back there. 2 touchdowns takes care of it for them. And they have an explosive ball club, a good passing attack, but they've got to get the ball back.
3rd and 4. And the young quarterback, Phil Bradley from Macomb, Illinois, wants to talk to his head coach, Warren Powers. Following that, Confab will be back.
Come to Metropolitan and simplify your life.
Mr. Baxter?
Oh, Jeff.
Myrna and I were getting married.
Jeff, sit down. After the nice wedding, you know what you're getting into.
Plane to Hawaii?
You know, in my time, you could buy a college for what tuition costs. And what about responsibility, kids, mortgage payments, no matter what? Marriage is forever. What about my little girl's future, your retirement?
Sir, I love her. Can't married life be simple?
Life is full of complications. At Metropolitan, we can help simplify yours with financial plans to protect your family, children's education, ease retirement. Talk to Metropolitan Life. We're simplifying over 40 million lives. Together, we can do the same for you.
You're going to take care of my little girl.
We talked to Met, and everything's going to be great, Dad.
Dad. You call me Dad.
Come to Metropolitan and simplify your life.
The Sugar Bowl, the game that should decide the national championship. Number 1, Penn State battles number 2, Alabama. January 1st, live, 2 o'clock Eastern on ABC.
Sundown in Memphis, Tennessee. We're beginning to see the effects of the overhead lights at the Liberty Bowl. It's a 3rd and 4 now for Missouri. Defensively, LSU must stop them here. No way you can stop Mr. Wilder, number 32. He is beyond that forward stake, it appears, as we look to the far sideline, and it's another. Missouri, 1st and 10.
He keeps coming up. Look at him. Oh, I tell you, he makes a big difference in that Missouri attack, and he's come up with those big plays. And what Missouri is trying to do is to protect that lead. And, of course, running the ball and maintaining possession, running the clock is what they need to do.
115 yards now for Wilder, who does a little blocking. man releases, comes out on that pattern, and pulls it in. A man that lost only 11 yards rushing all year.
Yeah, you know, it was almost 900 yards, Chris, and he missed the first 4 ball games of the year. Here, Bradley just rolls out to the right, and they flood the zone, dump the ball off to the man coming out of the backfield, which is James Wilder, and he lowers his shoulder, knocked out of bounds.
So now Missouri needs 2 yards with a second down coming up, and we have 11:27 left in the game. The Liberty goal. Missouri leading 20-9. Good job.
Ooh. There was defense.
94 was one of them in there. That's White. 45 is Mike Turner, a freshman from Shreveport, Louisiana, which incidentally is the home of our director, Andy Sedaris, who for the first time in 25 years is going home for Christmas.
See that Alexander is having himself quite an afternoon with 122 yards and a touchdown, of course, but Wilder, I think Wilder probably has avoided more tacklers, I would say, from the standpoint of contact tacklers.
Now it's a 3rd and 3 for Missouri. Whistle. Was there a delay? Yes. In college football, you have 25 seconds in which to snap the ball.
Right. You know, Chris, there'll be more awards being made in college football in January, and of course, the linemen are the guys that do not get the publicity and get the recognition that they should. The backs do, and I think the Lombardi Award, which will be awarded and given on January the 18th, symbolic of the outstanding lineman, and they're trying to make that like the Heisman thing, and I think it's great because the linemen are the guys that really, they do all the work. They're down there in the trenches, and they don't get the recognition justly due them.
Now we have a 3rd down and 8 from the 40. And a big defensive play by the Bayou Bengals. 77 is Thibodeau. 94 is White, as we replay it.
Well, that's the first sack that they've had. Bradley goes back into the pocket, and of course he gets a lot. That's Thibodeau right there, number 77. And is that Adams? No, that's not Adams there.
Atia is one of them.
Yeah.
So on 4th down and 19, here comes the punt by Brockhouse. Fair catch. That was Chris Williams, who just couldn't see taking off with that ball because he was closely covered on the play. We'll be back.
All the guys that do commercials for light beer from Miller are big stars and guys like that. Me, I'm just a humble bartender, but I drink light too. And I'll tell you why. It's less filling, it's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes great.
Jerry, now that you're a big star, can I have your autograph?
Well, sure, Mr. Dangerfield.
Hey, would you like mine?
Not really.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
How about my initials?
Gee, Mr. Goodwrench, I don't know. It's going... Ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump.
Ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump.
Yeah.
Mr. Goodwrench understands your GM car. He has special GM training and GM equipment available to help him analyze your car and diagnose the problem.
No more ka-thump.
Thanks.
Keep that great GM feeling.
Mr. Goodwrench?
With genuine GM parts.
I understand.
9:57 remaining in the 20th Liberty Bowl. Following a 42-yard punt, LSU trailing by 11 points, have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 10, and David Woodley, number 8, is the quarterback. He did not have control of the football on the interception. Berg tipped the ball, number 36.
He fakes a tailback action, rolls right, trying to hit the crossing end, and he just, ball must have been tipped.
It was.
No, he never had possession of that ball at all there.
So it goes as an incompletion.
Seems like there's, excuse me, Chris, seems as if there's been a lot of deflected balls The Missouri Tigers must be getting their arms up, hands up.
That was Alexander trying to weave his way out of a sticky situation at the 10 and gained probably 2 yards before Harry Goodman made the stop. Hamilton, we learned, sprained his ankle a little earlier in the ball game.
Hamilton weaves his way more through than Wilder kind of stomps his way in there. Look at the offensive plays this half. LSU is dominating, but they haven't been able to get the ball in the end zone after that touchdown that they scored because of interceptions and fumbles.
Now Woodley
had him open.
So it brings up a 4th down and 8 as Carson, number 3, was the intended receiver. And as the punting unit comes in, Alexander with 124 yards on 21 carries and 1 touchdown.
He had him open on that play, just overthrew him. Got to be on target.
And now John Adams needs a good one. He's had 3, averaging 32.2 yards a punt.
Pretty good one.
That's Whitaker going deep. Fair catch by Whitaker, number 30 for Missouri. So they will snap the ball from around their own 39 after this.
Don't shave. Huh? I'm anti-friction. Whoa. With new Noxema anti-friction shave.
Does it work against nicks and cuts?
Oh, yes. Anti-friction is Noxema's blend of protective lubricants. They form a glide shield against nicks and cuts. You shave uncommonly smooth.
Shake it off with Noxema anti-friction shave. Anti-friction protects your face.
Anti-friction.
Can I help you?
Baboon Burger.
Nice car. What is it?
Chevy Chevette, best-selling small car in America.
What do you have on it?
AM radio, console, reclining bucket seats, white striped tires. It's all standard on the 4-door Chevy Chevette. Even a hatchback.
Love it, but I don't need the hatchback.
How come?
I've already got a trunk.
Chevy Chevette. A lot of car for the money.
You have to be a champion to cover the champions. ABC's Wide World of Sports with the major world championships in gymnastics, figure skating, weightlifting, bobsled, speed skating, World Championship boxing, World Cup skiing. January 14th, the Globetrotters. This season, ABC's Wide World of Sports.
We're pleased to be at the Liberty Bowl, and 8:59 remaining on the clock. Following an LSU punt, Missouri has it at their own 39, leading 20-9. First down, and Ellis, a junior from Columbia, Missouri, carries on the play.
LSU's got to hold tight in there and get that ball back. And, of course, Missouri on the other side of the coin saying, hey, we've got to maintain possession and run that clock off. Plenty of time. 9 minutes, you can do an awful lot with 9 minutes. You got a flag down.
And we have a penalty, and it appears off against the offense.
Oh, it's a holding penalty.
Oh, yes.
Way back. Well, that's the kind of break LSU needs.
So it'll be first down and 25 because of this.
Powers over there is saying, hey, let's run that clock off. We played a good first half. We haven't done much in the second half, but whether you win by 1 point or 11, as the score indicates there, it doesn't make any difference to him. And Charlie's Mack over there is telling that defense, get that ball back.
First and 25 for Missouri in the black jerseys. On their own 24, Earl Gant, who scored the first touchdown for Missouri to put them ahead 7-0. Then LSU came back with a 37-yard field goal by Conway. Missouri then failed on a 39-yard field goal, but then they went 48 yards, and Winslow caught a Bradley pass. Then Wilder scored from 3.5 yards. And only scoring here in the second half has been a touchdown by LSU, Charles Alexander. Second and 22 is Earl Gant. Carries on the play. That came from the 27 of Missouri. Cupid on the tackle.
Well, Missouri has played a much more conservative second half. Kind of staying on the ground and They've thrown a few passes, but they have not made the big play this second half.
And here they have a big third down. 3rd and 13.
And they'll have to punt into the wind if they don't make it.
Bradley. So it's going to be a 4th down and 13. Snap will come somewhere around their 34. Bradley had hoped to hit Lewis on a conversion attempt, a 3rd down conversion. So Missouri will punt. Brockhouse has punted 5 times. He's number 3 there at the left of your screen.
Yep.
So he'll have his footwork cut out for him because the wind is still up at about 12 or 13 knots. And the rush is going to be on. Here comes the snap to Brockhouse. Chris Williams. So the greeting by Missouri was instantaneous. So with 7:29 remaining in the ball game, Missouri is in the lead, 20-9.
I see terrible things.
My future?
Your clothes. You'd look better in Hager slacks. Or a Hager sport coat and slacks. Even a Hager vested suit. All of today's Dacron polyester at prices that won't cost you a fortune. Now I see romance. A beautiful woman.
My girlfriend.
My daughter. Emulsion!
Hager, because looking good makes you feel good. Today, there's a high-performance motor oil that protects your engine for 15,000 miles or 1 year, whichever comes first. With good car care, it'll also improve gas mileage. And it costs less than most new generation oils. Its name, New Generation All Season. The motor oil that saves money 3 ways. From Conoco, hottest brand going.
There we get an idea of now as darkness sets in on the River City of Memphis, Tennessee. And for LSU, they've got to go now with 7:29 to go. They have a 1st and 10, their own 33. And quarterbacking is Ensminger, number 5. Charlie McClendon using both in the 2-quarterback system that he's used. The pass was intended for number 4. Moving along like a thoroughbred, Charles Alexander.
He deployed to a double wing that time and tried to hit a quick out pattern, but the Missouri Tigers deployed to what we call a double zone, and they had all the zones pretty well covered that time.
So it's 2nd down and 10 for number 5, Ensminger. That's there at the right bottom of your screen. That's Alexander that comes out to set outside his left tackle. And game Mike Quintella wanted to get more yardage, number 1, but Johnny Poe wouldn't allow it.
Well, I don't know. He may have used better judgment there and gone out of bounds to stop the clock. This Mike Quintella just running an out pattern again from the double wing spot. He's right there. Now, probably better judgment would have been to step out of bounds here, kill the clock. But he stayed in bounds, thought maybe he might be able to run for more yardage, but that wasn't the case. As a matter of fact, he was short of a 1st down.
Right, they need a yard on 3rd down. Here it is. And they give it to their man, Alexander, but that Missouri defense, led by Suda, a forestry major, number 86, and Larry Lauderdale, phys ed major.
Well, you can see this game is really evened up statistically from the first half. 264 to 295, and of course it was double at halftime.
We're looking now down at the head linesman on the far side of the field, and apparently they made the 1st down.
Yes.
All right. So LSU's drive is still alive with 6:37 left in the game. Missouri on defense on the left, leading 20-9. Ensminger from about the 45, his own. And that's Carlos Carson making the catch, stepping out of bounds to stop the clock at 6:18 left in the final quarter. Poe forcing him out.
It was a very definite audible at the line of scrimmage. He did read the coverage. They came to man-to-man to blitz, and he just stepped up and hit the quick out pattern, and it was being played very loosely on the man-to-man, not to give the touchdown, but that was a good audible.
There you see the great events are on ABC's Wide World of Sports next Saturday, 5 Eastern and Pacific, 4 Central. Now, 2nd down and 1 from the 46. Number 4, Alexander. You heard the whistles, and of course, flag is down.
Left guard jumped. Picked his hand up and moved prior to the snap.
So it'll be 2nd down and 6. Stepping off the 5 yards, coming back to the LSU 49.
You can see here the left guard moves. Take another look at it. You see him, watch him pick up, and you see his right hand is down. You'll see, there, you saw it there. You see, picked his hand up prior to the snap.
Ensminger now with a 2nd and 6 from his own 49. Carlson, the reception by Carlson is near the 35 of Missouri.
They get single coverage, man-to-man coverage. They're trying to blitz the quarterback. Carlson comes down, then comes back for the ball right here. And, of course, the receiver or the defender comes up, but a little late.
LSU now in the I formation, slot formation to the near side. Split end opposite. 1st down. It looked like Alexander was going to get more than 4 yards, but that's what he got.
It's interesting the different styles between Wilder and Alexander. Alexander has the quick feet. He weaves through. He makes people miss. And Wilder just seems to stomp in there and run over people.
All right, LSU with 3 timeouts remaining here in the final quarter, or 2nd half. Ensminger. Another interception. 4th one against LSU.
Well, that's
Peterson, number 88. The defender's getting into the act.
It was rolling out to the right, and let's take a look and see what happened here. Ensminger comes rolling out to the right with 2 lead blockers, which include Alexander. He delivers the ball. Oh, just a great defensive play by Kurt Peterson. Great interception.
5:27 left in the ball game. Missouri 20, LSU 9.
Life is for living, and Visa is there.
Skateboards, perfumes, building new roofs.
A pink transporter prom.
Football passes.
Eyeglasses.
Presents for mom. Tennis matches, quilts with patches. A weekend in the sun.
Hiking.
Biking.
Skating.
Skating. The things that make up fun. Books and sweaters, double headers. A special evening out.
Visa is the most widely recognized card in the world. Visa, we're keeping up with you.
Because of a certain ability I possess, I've been asked to tell you all the useful shopping information you can find in the Bell System Yellow Pages. Names, addresses, phone numbers, maps, directions, credit cards, items for sale, charge accounts, deferred payment plans, brand names, regular valet parking, custom work, machine work, quantity discounts, colors, days and hours of business, insurance, bonding, deliveries, endorsements, cash and carry, 24-hour service, estimates, illustrations, years in business, same day.
When you need to know who, what, where, when, and why, let your fingers do the walking through the Bell System Yellow Pages.
Thank you.
The Missouri team that intercepted 19 times this year have come up with their 4th interception of this ball game. LSU with 5 turnovers, the other a fumble loss. Missouri's had only 1 turnover, now from the 32, leading by 11. Bradley hands off to Wilder. And Thibodeau and Braha in on the stop for LSU, and of course they'll be ball hawking as there was no gain on the play. It'll be a 2nd down and 10. And the first of 3 Holiday Bowl games for ABC Sierra.
Yep. Next Friday night, we go to the Gator Bowl with Clemson and Ohio State.
And New Year's afternoon from New Orleans. It'll be for number 1 in the nation, number 1 ranked Kansas State, number 2 ranked Alabama. 2nd and 10 for Missouri, 15th ranked in the country. The upset team of the year. And Bradley calmly unloads it for maybe a yard gain. Winslow is the man that caught it. There's the tight end, 6'6", 235. And Brent Elkins, 5'10" and 179. It was a mismatch here on the near sideline.
Well, we've got to say a little something about Benji Thibodeau. He's having quite a day or afternoon or evening now that the dark has fallen on us. He's got 7 solos and 7 assists. He's had 14 involvements in this game.
3rd down and 9 now for Missouri. They led at the end of the first quarter, 7-3 at halftime, 23. What a hit by number 19. That's Brent Elkins, who hit Ellis just as the ball got there. So that brings up a 4th down, and it means that the Bayou Bengals from Baton Rouge will have a chance to get the ball.
Let's see if they go after it this time, after the punt, see if they can get a block. They have been getting penetration on the previous punts.
And this man can run it back, the man you just saw, Williams, 22, as we look at Rockhouse, the punter for Missouri, averaging 38 yards on 5 kicks. Williams calls for a fair catch. And the Missouri kick coverage has been very, very quick.
Yeah, they're attempting to block the kick, of course, and when you block, you can't have both. You cannot have a return. If you look at the yardage there, Missouri, 298. LSU has practically caught them. Probably will on this drive if they make any kind of yardage. But as I was talking about the punt situation, when you commit yourself to try to block a punt, it's impossible to try to get a return. And, of course, the Williams back there is very cool. Fair catches the ball and saves any bounce from the yardage, losing more yardage on it.
Now Woodley is in at quarterback for LSU. From the I, slot formation to the near side. From the 28, 1st down with Quintella running to the left.
There's a flag, personal foul. Looks like it's against Eric Wright.
That was Woodley on a neat run. Whitaker met him.
Yep. You see, Woodley is just running an option play. He fakes the Gaijon, and he finds the opening, breaks up to the middle. I'm sure that Missouri was looking for a pass or a special play. Comes on down, and it looked like, I think it was Carlos Carson was trying to block right there, number 3. You see that? And there was retaliation on the part of Eric Wright. There it is. Let's see if we can see it here. Right, there's one. Oh, my. Well, boys will be boys. No, it really wasn't that bad a thing.
All right, 1st and 10 now from the 42 of Missouri. The snap came at the 28 of LSU, plus the run and the penalty. That's Hokie Gaijon. And Berg, once more, there to make a defensive play for Missouri.
They need to get into that end zone. They got 4 minutes to go in this ball game. They can get in there, onside, kick the ball, anything can happen.
So now with the ball at the 38, 2nd down and 6 for LSU, and 3:49 left in the game, and they trail by 11. 11 points for a tie. 2nd and 6. And a loss of a yard or 2.
And precious time off the clock. LSU still has 3 timeouts.
And Woodley fumbled that ball there, but recovered it.
Well, what happened to I think he was looking at the blitzing men. He could see that they were going to blitz. Look here. You see Garlick starts to come, and I think he was distracted by that movement, and the exchange was mishandled. And they were very fortunate to get the ball back. Woodley goes after it.
Okay. 3rd down and 8 now. He caught it at the 21, and that's Mr. Carlos Carson.
Yeah. Come on, LSU, you got to hustle here. You want to get back in. Here's another look at Carlos. He comes down the field. He's got terrific speed. And he weaves inside. Hey, that was contact there by, it appears.
All right, with the ball now at the 21, LSU threatening with 2:48 to go in the game, trailing 9-20. Woodley Quintella tried his best to get to it.
There's another look at that play. Woodley comes back, fakes the tailback action, gets outside. There's the throw. Right in his hands. Now, you just can't throw the ball any better than that. That's just one of those drops. Game of mistakes.
As we look at the Missouri Golden Girls, Missouri with 18 first downs, LSU with 19. Here's the 2nd and 10 from the 21. Quintella in motion. Woodley. Intended for 32, Orlando McDaniel of LSU. So it'll be a 3rd down and 10 with 2:31 left on the clock in the Liberty Bowl.
One thing that Missouri is doing, certainly from the last time I saw them when they were pressed with a passing situation, is that they're camouflaging their coverage much better now. It's harder to read whether or not they're going to blitz or whether or not they're in man-to-man or zone coverage. And this is making it much more difficult for both Woodley and Ensminger when he was in.
Woodley now has thrown 17 times, completing 6 for 96 yards. 3rd down and 10. Final moments of this game. So it's going to be 1st and goal. Carson again on the catch.
This is just a good piece of running, good route against the coverage. Woodley comes back, and just a straight-out pattern. The defender is afraid to give the touchdown, of course, and he keeps both feet in. And I'd rather he gets a 1 foot in, that's all he needs to do, and he's got a completion and a 1st down. Hey, stay with us.
Carson now, 6 catches, 78 yards. And here it now is a 1st and goal at the 9 for LSU. Alexander. Those are hard-earned yards, down to about the 6. Several of the Missouri defenders, Berg, Ray, see the clock still running. Missouri a 1-touchdown favorite in this first ever meeting between these two universities. So now it's a 2nd and goal from the 7, and Woodley looks. Carson couldn't get to it off the outstretched arms. Carson, 5'10", 170 pounds, number 3.
Let's see how close it was from an end zone shot here. Woodley rolls out to his right, looking for Carson. He throws the ball, just leads him. Oh, my. Carson is going to... That's unusual for him.
Oh, those replays.
From up here, I couldn't see as well, but certainly in the replay, it's very evident that that ball was right in his hands.
Now Alexander is the deep back at the right of your screen. He scored the only LSU touchdown. It's a 3rd and goal from the 7, and Woodley looks into the end zone again. And caught at about the 1. So it'll be 4th down, and it was Carson. Covered by Johnny Poe. Remember, they got the 1st down inside the 10. There's the pass again.
Let's see. Well, he kept him out of the end zone. It looked like he was going to just kind of turn and go into the end zone. Here's the ISO. He's in the end zone, comes back for the ball, but he's knocked back out of the end zone by Johnny Poe, and he saves the score and will make him and create more time to be.
And now here at the Liberty Bowl, we have 1:37 left in the game. Calling timeout, LSU, and they have 2 remaining. Missouri has 1. He just joined us. At the end of the first quarter, Missouri 7, LSU 3. At halftime, 20-3. At the end of the 3rd quarter, 20-9, and that's the score right now. But it'll be a 4th down and goal from the 1, having made the 1st down at the 9 in this drive. Alexander now 24 carries, 132 yards for LSU. Carson, the end, 7 catches, 84 yards. There you see the distance away from the goal line. They got to get it on, above, or over to get the 6 points.
Well, I'm guessing that they may give the ball to Alexander.
Gives us a chance to thank our spotter, Bill Creel of Norristown, Pennsylvania, and our statistician, a senior at the University of Missouri, Rick Bernstein, for their excellent work all year long.
They sure have. They're two great guys. I think Ricky is a little partial, though.
Well, he hasn't shown it in his statistics.
No, he hasn't. He's done very well. He's controlled himself. happens to go to Missouri.
All right. Here's the big LSU play to get 6 points closer with 1:37 to go. Woodley.
He's asked for a discretionary timeout.
That's, he just could not hear the signals his teammates. We'd like to remind all of you at this moment that the Liberty Bowl, the 20th annual and the 14th for ABC, has been brought to you by the folks at Chevrolet, who invite you to come on into your Chevy dealers coast to coast for a look at an all-star lineup of cars, and by Mr. Goodwrench and the General Motors Parts Division. Keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts. All right, 4th down. Beautiful fake into the line and on a keeper. Woodley. A fake by the back, a set back into the line, and Woodley came outside to the left, number 8. Alexander did a beautiful half gainer through the line, and now they'll go for 2, no doubt. So it's 20-15. We have 1:33 left in the game.
Well, it was a great option play that they ran. It was a great choice because I think Missouri was stacked in there to look at Alexander.
LSU.
And they really put the a good option play on them to the weak side or away from their stacked I formation. Here they're going for 2.
All right. They had a power I set up. Now they put a flanker outside the tackle. They split the backs. Going for 2. And the try fails because Berg, number 36, pulled it in.
You see Quintella is a trailer, and of course you see Woodley just steps inside on the option play, and they got the touchdown. Let's see with the onside kick with 1:33. Anything can happen.
Our executive producer, of course, and he's the gentleman who wishes all of you a happy holiday, Rune Arledge. Today's coverage of the Liberty Bowl was produced by Ned Steckel, directed by Andy Sedaris, technical director John Allen, associate director Kurt Gowdy Jr., technical manager Bob Armbruster, our unit manager Steve Israel, and assistant to the producer Amy Knox, and we pat on the back Boyd Robertson and Kelly Kirkpatrick and Meg Lesser as well, and all of our excellent cameramen and technicians. So now we'll have the kickoff, and on the clock we have 1:33 remaining. And it'll be LSU kicking, and it's Mike Conway who will do the kicking at the hash mark on the far side of the field. And back deep in single safety, we have one black jersey. Mr. Hill, a flanker and a defensive back for Missouri, and the squib kick at 10 yards. Try for an onside kick.
Good deployment on the part of Missouri. They had people in angles in perfect position. The ball was squibbed well, but also received well. Let's see, we have an injury, unfortunately.
Especially so near to the end of the game, and
let's see if we can see what happens here.
That was Rusty Brown, a great player for LSU from Houston.
The ball didn't take that wild bounce. You generally put your men up there that have good hands, and that looks like Mount Downer they put in. See, this is what we did when we were coaching. Got into a situation like that, you put all the guys with good hands up there, the shortstops. They didn't put any linemen in there. And of course that paid off right there.
There's the time remaining, and really a nifty football player, Rusty Brown from Houston, Texas, a junior, is going to the far sideline. He is the king of their specialist teams.
Yeah, we had a chance to meet him in the hotel on a number of occasions. He's really a nice, fine young man. I'm sorry to see that he has an injury. I hope that it isn't too serious.
All right, coming in, looks like number 74, has come in the lineup for the LSU defense. Bradley now for Missouri, the sophomore, 11 of 21 for 118 yards and 1 touchdown toss. And that was to Winslow. 16 yards scoring duty. So now Lewis is to the left. 1st and 10. Missouri leading 20-15 with 1:33 to go. And Wilder, who's had a great day, finds John Adams, number 86, in white.
Well, they're trying to get that ball away. Let's see, they call a timeout or whether they get him out of bounds. Apparently they called a timeout. They've used one. They have one left. They've used 2 now. They have 1 left.
So on Friday night on ABC television, Clemson will meet Ohio State in Jacksonville at the Gator Bowl. It's 9 Eastern, 8 Central, and 6 Pacific time. Clemson, 7th ranked, going against Woody Hayes' Buckeyes. And then on January 1st, 2 Eastern, 1 Central, and 11 Pacific time, it's a game for the national championship. Penn State and Alabama.
That's going to be a beauty. Seen both of those teams, and I tell you, Penn State's got a great defense, and Alabama always gets on the scoreboard somehow. Bear always does a great job.
We have 1:21 as number 82 goes left. That's Ken Blair for Missouri. They lead 20-15. They have a 2nd down and 10 at their own 49. Ellis. And look at that LSU defense. They are not giving up. They're trying to get the ball, make the stop, and a last timeout for LSU has been called, as you saw. So LSU stopping the clock at 1 minute and 10 seconds. Missouri has 1 timeout left. Of course, they lead by 5.
Well, they still have a chance. They've got a hold here. And, of course, if I was coaching Missouri, I would take a 5-yard penalty, let the clock, that full 25 seconds elapse, and try to bleed as much time off the clock before I punted it.
And I know, Arrow, this will not surprise you. They have many awards to visiting offensive player of the game and the home players of the game. And the most outstanding game player award goes to James Wilder of Missouri.
Well, we said at the top of the show, both Alexander and Wilder were great backs, and they certainly didn't disappoint us today. Both of them did an outstanding job, and of course, the fact, obviously, that Missouri is at this point winning the game, and if they can hold on this next 1 minute and 10 seconds, Wilder will have contributed enormously to that success.
Now from the 47 of LSU, there's Wilder, 32. It's going to be a 3rd and 6 with 1:10 to go. Here's Bradley. And he did not get the necessary yardage.
Okay, let's see. When he marks the ball, there'll be 25 seconds to put the ball in play. I'll watch the clock here. He has marked the ball now. That's 52.
DeRudy was in on the stop there, and you see now the clock is running.
LSU will get the ball back.
Well, of course, no timeouts for LSU. 1 for Missouri, but they'll just look up and let that clock keep running.
They'll take the full 25 seconds before they kick it, but LSU will get the ball back.
An arrow form sort of held up here going into this game. Of course, Missouri was a 1-touchdown favorite, and as you looked, as we prepared for the game together, it was very obvious it was going to be a close game.
Well, it seemed like it was 2 halves, with the first half belonging totally to Missouri, doubling virtually all the statistics, and then in the second half, it's been LSU. They have scored 2 touchdowns and have gone ahead in the stats, I believe, in the total stats. So the turnovers have been costly, yet Missouri is a fine football. I think they're 2 good football teams that we've watched out here.
All right, now with 25 seconds left in the game, on a 4th down, Missouri will try to pick up the necessary yardage and keep the ball and run out the clock. 18 seconds left in the game as Bradley on a keeper.
That surprises me, because Eddie kicked the ball and tried to kick the ball out of bounds or into the end zone. Now they've given them reasonable field position. Any kind of a long pass, an interference can be called, And they've got 17 seconds. They'll get a couple plays off.
I saw that bewildered look on your face,
I
Aaron.
did. I was really surprised. Because I would want to give them the ball here. There's a number of things that can happen.
So a bomb here will win the ball game for LSU.
Did very well.
17 seconds left on the clock. There are no timeouts for the Bayou Bengals. But here it is, Woodley, the quarterback. Carson caught it at about the 47, but that clock keeps running down. Surprised they didn't go for a sideline pass. Now they do, stopping the clock, but was it in time?
Have they called a game or not there? Let's see.
Well, the fans don't think so. The youngsters here in Memphis, Tennessee, as they come out in a very orderly manner. But the players, the Missouri players now, moving from the near sideline. The LSU players on the far sideline are mainly staying there. The time on the clock here says 0-0-0. So apparently that is it.
Well, great comeback in the second half by LSU, but just falling short.
They certainly did. So we have that final score once again. Missouri 20, LSU 15. Travel arrangements made through a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United built the largest airline in the free world around you. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.